introduce our streams to our stream audience, because that'll sound
Hey,
that'll sound insane.
Dave.
No.
Yeah, I'm broadcasting now.
Yeah, we got that. All right, so everybody's up. What's going on, PSVR community? It's AWOL Soldier here with a bunch of the guys you know and motherfucking love. So we're going to go around the table here and introduce everyone. So I am AWOL Soldier from PSVR all day, every day. It wasn't meant to be that way, but I was drunk and I made the name. Now we're stuck with it. To my left, we got the Preacher. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Preacher. That's me from the Preacher Plays. I have no idea what the fuck I'm saying. Please move on.
There's an empty seat right next to you. Should have been Seraphim. That's... Oh.
Cool.
Oh. Nat?
Yeah, I'm Nat from 7 Degrees of Gaming. Thank you guys for inviting me.
You're welcome, and you look like a chick. Polish Ball, go ahead.
And I'm Dave from Davestation VR, and thanks for having me
With
here,
those
folks.
dulcet tones.
All right. And I am Lewis Knight from Lewis Knight PSVR, and I really hope everyone is sharing all their voices.
Oh, I hope so too, yeah. Is this going to be an hour of one person talking to themselves on somebody's stream?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, I think so, pretty much. Well, thank you guys for showing up. What we all came to do this for was for the community as a whole, which we're all a part of. And thank you so much for Strange Games for showing up so they can tell us a bit more about what they're up to and whatnot. So we're going to talk right out the gate here. We got a ton of topics from the user communities, from everybody's channels. But we're going to start off with Strange Games because at the moment they're still coding D-Day for us as we speak. And we're going to talk Honor and Duty, which I personally love that game, man. It's they told us that 5v5 multiplayer in PSVR was not possible because the PSVR is a pussy and it can only be done on PC. And you guys said, F that. Here you go.
Nobody.
Hey, Reggie, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. I just got a comment from one of my...
yeah, they can't hear us.
They can't hear you. Yeah, I don't think you're sharing out your audio.
Here's what we do, though. Okay, so you go into the party that we're in, all the party that we're in, go into that party screen, everybody, and just go into the party settings and make sure your voice is allowed to be shared.
Yeah, just go into your chat settings
so,
there.
In the party settings, 7, I think it was the same thing with you during our Farpoint stream a while back. You weren't sharing your voice.
Yeah, I should all be...
No, 7's good now. I streamed
7's good. We streamed Arizona Sunshine. He is good.
Yeah, I've got prioritized party chat, so yeah, I'm in.
So all you gotta do is go to allow your voice to be shared always.
Yeah, everybody in everybody's channel, if you're watching, just give us a heads up if somebody's not showing up on the audio.
Yeah, if guys,
I don't know if
thing,
anybody else is either.
If you're watching Night Bear, you said what's up. Let me know if you can hear everybody.
Let me go back to party.
Okay. This is the first time that we're JD as well. I think JD's here. This is the first time we're doing this, guys. So
just working out some kinks, no big deal.
Yeah,
at least we got
fluttering
drinks.
kitten is way in the chair. Yes, we got drinks.
I'm just slugging beer. Can you guys hear him now?
Awesome. All right. He's probably just still setting up.
We'll have to wait probably one sec for confirmation there.
I just changed it, so
I'll just pull up his.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about all that, man.
Yeah. We're gonna let the comments coming in, unless they're saying like, "Hey, I can't hear anybody." We're gonna be like,
"Yeah, that's
ignore."
That's why we did announcement videos, so everybody could tell us what they wanted to talk about to keep this short.
Yeah. All right. Well, I changed the settings. Can everybody hear me?
I'm gonna verify my own channel, man. Give me 1 sec.
Anybody out there watching? Let's see if we can hear Fluttering Kitten over here from Strange Beans.
All right, go ahead, Flutter.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
I mean, we can hear you.
Awesome. Everybody can hear. We're just
Hey,
waiting
they
for
can hear
flooding
him.
to be done.
Thanks,
Okay.
Beatrice Villa.
I can hear
Appreciate
him.
that. All
Cool.
right, back on schedule. So,
Thanks, guys.
All right.
AWOL, you want to intro him again? And
Difficulties
we'll
sorted.
Sorry, man.
get that
All
going.
right, so we're
Yes.
good now.
Sorry about that fluttering.
Yeah, I think we're all good.
No problem. I didn't realize it. But
All
yeah, I
good.
guess we're just saying we're
I
really.
I didn't think about doing that because we all stream all the time, and I'll have that set that way. My bad. We should have told you that.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
everything is perfect.
So back
Sorry.
to the first question. The initial question was honor and duty and how awesome it is, and how you don't understand how some of these AAA studios and everybody else said it couldn't be done. That was the question you were trying to ask.
5v5.
Yeah, just I don't understand. I mean, there's really nothing that hard about it. I mean, you've got some things with VR. I mean, it's a lot more frame rate sensitive, but other than that, I mean, to me, multiplayer is a lot easier to do than single player. So I would have thought, online multiplayer would have been the easier part of it. But in any event, we were just really surprised to hear we were the first to do it. And with all the great feedback we got, we decided to look at doing a sequel, a lot sooner than we would have. And this great art asset became available in the Unity store, and it had the perfect look for World War II. And so it was just like everything just kind of fell into place. And so things are going pretty well with that. We're working on some coding to replace a lot of the middleware we've been using. And that middleware is a very complex system, and so a lot of things were really hard to fix because, this whole, big middleware system just, we try to fix one little thing and it touched 10 different systems. So anyway, we've just been, kind of stripping that out. And, that coding will be the basis for D-Day, but at the same time, we're kind of, it's going to be, fixing the things in the current version of Honor and Duty. So hopefully within about 1 to 2 weeks, we'll have that ready to go back into the, the current version of Honor and Duty. So we'll be able to fix a lot of things like the player rotations, the frame rate issue and all that. So, look, even though we haven't been doing a lot of updates in the past week, there's a lot of work that's been going on. So.
Well, you
Awesome.
guys are doing a great job, man. You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
I love the game. Has everybody in here played the game?
Yep.
Oh,
Well,
yes,
it's
we all
only
have,
just
yeah.
released in Europe, so
Yeah, I bought it for $1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was a little drunk and harsh when I reviewed it at first because I kept spawning in the same spot and everyone just had a better gun than me. And I was so fucking frustrated. But, I'm sure that's been patched or adjusted or something at this point, the spawn.
Oh, that's is anybody said they can't hear Polish Paul?
I did. I think I Polish Paul and maybe Preacher. I'm not sure, but
No,
Preacher
Preacher's
hasn't
good.
said much.
I'm just being
Preacher's-
quiet.
No, Preacher's
Yeah,
fine.
he's quiet. Yeah,
Preacher
should be good.
Preacher works just fine. Polish Paul, go into your settings and make sure your game chat's being shared, please.
That's funny. Yeah, we can hear you. Oh, we can hear you. I don't know. Let us know if you can hear Paul, guys, if you're still here around.
So I got
Yeah,
a question. I got a question for Reggie here.
No, go ahead.
Me.
Please.
So you said 5v5 was easy. You're gonna up the player count for D-Day? Is it gonna be like 16 players or something?
Yeah, we're actually planning 16.
Ooh.
Once we get the middleware out, once we get the middleware out and do our
Can't
own
hear Paul,
networking,
guys.
16 players should be fine. We're actually hoping to be able to do 32, but probably 16 will be realistic.
What?
Wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah,
Jesus,
back-
man.
back when
32?
the-
Possibly?
Yeah,
Jesus.
well, when we were doing stuff for the 360 years ago, our game said 16 players, and that's when we wrote our own networking code. So I know 16 won't be a problem, but 32, might be pushing a little bit, and we may have to go from peer-to-peer to client-server. So if we have to do that, it'll take a little longer, but I don't think it'll be too big of a deal to get 32 players in there.
With vehicles as well.
Yeah, with vehicles. So we'll see.
So
It's just,
Battlefield. You're the first Battlefield type. game.
Yeah, I was thinking that earlier. I'm like, we got Battlefield in VR. That's fucking cool.
yeah, I've been working on the
That's
tanks
insane.
a lot this week. So we've got tanks, so you can, you're actually inside the tanks, and it's like a physical tank. You're
Oh,
in there,
God,
and
that
you
looks
pop
so
out the
good.
hatch.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
So it's not like you get in a tank and you're just seeing a third-person view of it.
And you guys are still doing the licensing so some noob can't come in and steal my badass tank?
Yeah, that's still the plan, is to have it to where when you spawn, when you bring in your tank, it's tied to you, and you can basically give your friends access to it to drive it. But somebody can't just run up and jump in your tank and run off and get it destroyed.
So, like, don't let Polish Ball have access to my tank. It's,
Yeah. It'll almost be like keys. You
Speaking
can
of
give
which,
somebody the
I
keys
got
to your
people
tank.
saying you can't hear Paul still in my chat.
Oh yeah, before when he did speak,
Well-
he said they couldn't hear him. When you go to, you have to. It's in the party settings, Paul. Yeah, I don't know. Not in audio settings in the broadcast and advanced broadcast play. It's in the actual party chat options. If you go into the party chat screen, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. The chat that we're in right now, the party chat. No, in the PlayStation. No, it's okay. On the PlayStation.
So this
The party
segment,
chat.
this segment of
Sorry,
the
guys.
roundtable is just a tutorial for anybody who wants to join us in the future on this roundtable.
Yeah.
This is what it
exactly.
takes. It's a lot of moving parts.
Listen, this
but-
was the first time it was going to go wrong. It's just how much it was going to go wrong.
Nobody makes the first jump, guys. Look. Yeah, it's in the party. It's in the party menu. The party that we're in on the PlayStation. If you go to the dashboard.
Oh, shit.
And you go to the.
I just
And then
dunked
there's
my
party
move controller.
settings. And then there's it'll say voice allow voice to be shared, and you just hit always.
All right.
He's close. Be quiet, he's close.
So I just got one question for Reggie. I think I'm the only person out of this round table that hasn't actually played Honor and Duty, and one of the reasons for that is literally you just launched the game in Europe this week.
Yeah.
Was
Ah,
there
yes.
any major issue with dealing with Sony Europe? Because
No,
here in
thankfully,
Europe,
sorry.
we always get fucked. Sorry to excuse my language, but we do. We get fucked.
You guys do.
So I was just wondering,
yeah.
is there any major issues you had with Europe specifically?
Not too big a deals. I mean, it seems like everything over there is different and more trouble to deal with things like, your rating service over there, Peggy, is a real pain in the ass. But, over here, the ESRB, I can go online and within 5 minutes I can get a self-rating for free. With those guys, I mean, you've got to sign up for them and you've got to go through their online tutorials, and then, it's a pretty expensive rating to begin with, and you got to. I mean, it was quite a bit just to get just a simple rating for our first game. So that's just one step, and then I don't get as quick a response from Sony Europe as I do from the States. So it's a lot of little small things, but nothing too bad. I mean, if you weren't making a lot of money,
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, if you weren't making a lot of money on your games, I could see where a developer would say, hey, it's just not worth the effort. But so far, I mean, I haven't gotten sales numbers for our Europe release of Honor and Duty, but our little Match 3 game, Tina's Toy Factory, it did pretty good its first few weeks. So it was definitely worth putting it out there. So hoping Honor and Duty has the same reception.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've been hearing quite a bit from developers. I've just recently had an email yesterday, actually, from the guys behind Rooms, the puzzle game that's going to be coming. It's out in Japan, and they're saying Japan's a piece of piss to fucking develop in. That really thing, but yeah, he was literally saying Peggy's an absolute pain in the arse, which is pretty much what I've heard from other developers, that out of all of the Sony areas, they're the worst by a country mile.
Oh, they don't even
Okay, so-
take electronic payments. I have to go down to the bank and generate a wire transfer. And then it takes them a week to even verify they got it. So it's, yeah.
So do you think the sequel will be quicker now that you know the process, or do you think it's going to be the same trouble?
Going through you mean like getting the Peggy rating and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll go a lot quicker. We kind of know something, like we'll go ahead and submit our payment ahead of time and get, a lot of stuff in place. And so, yeah, those parts will definitely go quicker. The development will really be the time-consuming thing. So, now that we've been through the process twice already, it'll definitely go smoother. And we're definitely shooting for a simultaneous launch for the States and Europe.
Oh, like you guys did on did on your PSVR update that was worldwide. That was awesome.
Yeah.
We were all on at the same time. That was awesome.
Yeah.
They can't do it. How come every other game has to come out 7 days prior or before? Or, it's whatever.
Well, the only thing is is if you didn't pass QA for Europe or whatever, then you wouldn't be able to release on the same date. But I think they've now got a process where we can do worldwide QA for both territories at once. So that shouldn't hold things up.
Yeah.
But that would be
That's
the
cool.
but that would be the only thing that might keep from releasing at the same time. Was if you had to go through because right now there's QA for different territories. So if you failed one, then you obviously couldn't release at the same time.
So if Honor of Duty's doing great, we know D-Day is going to be cool. I guess the question is, you guys already had Honor of Duty out. It was a flat screen game. You built it flat screen. What obstacles as a developer are there? Like, how hard was it for you guys to give us a VR experience from a flat screen game? Is it like as big of a pain? Is they describe it, or what's it?
Well, we use Unity, and Unity does all the heavy lifting for you. So really, it's not that much work to literally get VR. Take your game and suddenly it's VR. Now the hard part is getting all the VR, all the VR settings taken care of, because they were really hard on us. I mean, we had it finished basically like in August. I mean, it was playable, but it took from August to almost January to kind of get everything, their VR console to, be happy with everything. We had to take out jumping.
I've not been talking on other channels.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking I muted that. I don't know.
No, Paul, if you put your hand over your face, we're on Party Chat. We can all hear you still. That's only in Rec Room. That's within Rec Room, so yeah.
Right, okay. I've been answering to comment. Don't ignore me.
No worries, man.
Hilarious.
So to answer your question, the actual technical aspects of making the game work in VR is not that hard, but just all the, really the frame rate was our biggest issue because we were not worried about frame rate, with flat screen. I mean, if it dipped in the 50s, it wasn't a big deal. But yeah, you've got to hit 60 almost constantly.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest things that makes people feel sick, I feel like, is the frame rate drop,
Right. That happened in Arizona Sunshine, where I've gotten a little queasy from the frame rate dropping when the game first came out, and I was like, I can't play this for that long, guys. And that was the only game. Other than that, any game I can play, no problem.
Yeah.
So you guys, Strange Games, unlike normal studios, I'll put out a video bitching about something like that needs fixed, and I've done it with your game. Next thing you know, it was me and myself, and Doom, Dr. Doom, doing a kill glitch with the medics. Next thing we know, there's some strange person in here, and I'm going, he's going to screw it up for us. It wasn't anybody trying to screw it up. It was you in there trying to see what we were doing and what was going on. And you guys have been so just approachable and showing up in streams going, what are these guys doing? Why isn't it working? And that was from when we could put headsets through and shoot people through walls to kill glitches and everything.
Yeah.
How come you guys decide to be in the community's face instead of, and Doom says hi, by the way. How come you guys decide to be in there and more active rather than like a lot of studios that decide to sit back and just to go, we're going to pretend we're not seeing this and we'll fix what we want because we know what you want.
I don't know. I mean, we're really concerned. We really are concerned about putting out a good game and trying to take care of the issues and all. I mean, we really want people to enjoy the game. So, a lot of times when I'm working, I mean, I've got screens open. If I see somebody make a comment on one of the videos, I'll pop in and reply or whatever. So, right now we're small enough we can do that. If D-Day is really a big success, it might be hard to reply to every comment promptly. So,
of course.
But yes, right now, I mean, it's been it's been manageable enough. We've been able to be very active and all. So hopefully that'll continue. And I guess at some point,
we're happy to be game testers for you. We feel like
I actually have
like
QA experience in real life, so let me know.
Yeah, and actually, I could use some help here probably in the next few weeks once we get ready to replace this middleware. And if somebody could get on with a PC build and help me do some testing, I'd like to really test that before we roll it out to to everyone. So that would definitely be a big help if some of you guys could help with that.
Does anybody have a PC headset?
Doing planes? Are you guys thinking about planes, maybe?
Yeah, we
airdrops. What about airdrops and stuff like
airdrops? Yeah, like you can carpet.
I saw that there was more blood in the game. I really appreciate that. I like more blood.
Yeah.
But if we can get some limbs kind of coming off, and maybe a head popping while the blood squirts out of the neck hole just for a while, like in Kill Bill. I don't know, maybe something like that.
All right. Well, hey, that art asset we bought has got limbs and arms, so we can definitely throw some of those.
Pop them right off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a look
Yeah,
at
just
Ultra
let us know
Wings
what
for
you want.
airplane
We'll
movement.
try to get it in there.
Yeah, gore galore.
All right, guys. So what we're going to do now, we can let any of you guys have questions specifically for Strange Games. And Strange Games, once they're done nailing you with their questions, anything else you want to say about your studio and your game and stuff, you go ahead and do it. Because I don't want to keep you because we know you're coding this actively right now. So we're going to do, these guys can ask you questions and you say what you got to say, and then we'll move on to, if you want to stick around after that, that's your call, man. We love you guys. We love your game. And I can't wait for what comes in the future from you guys.
Yeah,
but,
man. Absolutely.
Go ahead. So, Preacher, go ahead, and we're going to go around the table. And then Strange Games, you can talk about your game as you see fit afterwards once you answer the questions from the guys. So, Preacher, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a question which I think will segue nicely for a discussion later on. But when you were making your game and you had it all ready to go, and it was, it was ready to go out the door, and then you had to decide on a price for the content that you created, how did you go about that?
Let's see, are you talking about for Honor and Duty?
Yes.
Well, see, that was back in 2016, and at the time, I felt like it was a fun game, but I didn't feel like it had the polish, and I think Sony had said, maybe a $10 to $15 game, and I just didn't feel like it had the polish for that level. So, we just kind of scaled it back a little bit. It was just kind of a gut feeling. We didn't, do any heavy market research. It was just kind of looking at what other games were out there, and just felt like that was probably a fair price. So,
do you still feel the same way?
I think at this point, especially with the VR update, I think it's probably a fair price for it. I mean, it's still, rough around the edges in some spots, but, I've been playing it for, almost 2 years now, and still as I'm developing and doing stuff, it still find myself, kind of playing it for fun at times,
So it's safe to say that this game is going to be constantly being updated and developed, even after Honor and Duty D-Day, or is it just going to be straight D-Day and no more Honor and Duty 1 after that?
We'll see how it goes. I mean, if there's still people out there playing it, we'll definitely try to keep adding maps and weapons and stuff.
Because it's kind of like Call of Duty. Everybody goes back and forth between different Call of Duties. That could be your Call of Duty. It could be different types of Honor and Duty. Besides D-Day, obviously, there'll be more Honor and Duties, hopefully.
Oh, I like what you said before.
I'd love to keep, improving the levels and, going back and kind of, polishing stuff up. So as long as the game is, got some level of interest in it, we'll definitely keep trying to do some polish and, cleaning things up.
These guys have said that before too. They said as long as you guys are playing it, as long as you're having fun, we're going to keep paying attention to it. And Strange Games has already said that. We keep playing it, they'll pay attention to it. Hey, Dave, you swapped chairs. Do you want to get? Okay, Dave, you're up. Do you have any questions?
I don't have anything prepared. I'm assuming the thing that I mentioned about the spawn points that was really frustrating, has that been updated since you guys first did the VR patch?
Yes. Yeah, okay. It's already
because I haven't hopped back in, honestly. So I do need to go back in and check it out. I'll probably do that tonight.
They've updated all that, man.
Yeah. Also, one more
for
me.
Guys, I was asking him.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I thought you were done.
No, I'm fucking around.
He's done. Okay. The scaling of the guns. Was that updated to the scaling of the guns? I think that some of the guns were looking a little too big. Is that being updated for D-Day or Honor and Duty 1 as well?
There was 1 or 2 guns I noticed that were definitely scaled wrong, and I did correct, I think, 2 guns, and I didn't see any other issues. So if there are any guns that still appear to be, out of whack or whatever, let me know. But I think the ones that were really noticeable have been fixed.
Awesome.
So I think the answer is yes. But if you notice one that is, definitely let me know.
All right, let's let Dave ask his question and let Strange Games answer the.
Oh no, I asked it. I was just joking around.
He did.
All I was saying was you guys answered it for him, and I was saying I was asking him, not you guys.
Okay. Nat, do you have any questions?
No, I'm fine.
Nice,
I was just.
All right, Paul, you're up.
Right, okay. I just want to ask if you're going to be adding any new maps to Honor and Duty.
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, actually, I've already got one picked out that I'm planning to do. And I've got a few weapons picked out we're going to add. So the main thing is get this middleware in place, because that will allow us to fix the frame rate issue, which I think is the biggest problem right now. Once you hit the 7th player, it seems like the frame rate really drops heavily. So that's the focus right now. But yeah, we've already got a map picked out we want to add and some other weapons.
Right.
Awesome.
Lewis,
Yeah,
do you have anything else?
No, I think that's it for me.
All right. Do we want to hop on to the community questions, or?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do in a moment.
Yeah.
As
All
soon
right,
as
so
Strange Games. Hold up.
He said he wants to stay, man.
Strange Games. You got anything else to add about your game specifically? No, I'm not trying to kick him out. I want him to code the best game he can because his shit rocks, and I don't want to make him feel. Like
but do you want him to be coding it like what time is it? It's like after working hours. It's a Sunday. It's Easter Sunday. He shouldn't be coding right now, man. He should chill.
He's a programmer. That's what they do. They do.
He should be. He should be.
All right.
Well, it's like I tell somebody the other day, I really enjoy this. It's almost like a passion, So, it's like if you saw an artist working, a painter, you wouldn't think he was, you'd think he was enjoying himself. And for me, that's why I work 7 days a week. I'm doing something I enjoy and it's fun. So.
Yeah.
But,
we can see how much you support the game. It's great.
Yeah.
The other developers can't take the same passion to their games. Just...
Yeah, tell that to EA.
Yeah, no shit.
You guys have any loot boxes planned for D-Day?
Yeah, that'll be the next thing. Microtransactions.
A battle royale mode? You guys gonna have a battle royale mode? That's where the money's
actually,
at.
I was playing a little Fortnite.
Wait, that's like a.
Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite.
Where's he going with this?
Fortnite's great.
Wait, not like Fortnite, but isn't that like a free for all, right? Like, don't they? They don't have free. Yeah, there's only team deathmatch and Honor and Duty. That's it, right?
Yeah, it's just team deathmatch right now.
Right. Yeah, free for all is like kind of pretty much like battle royale.
Well, hold on. What we were saying?
Yeah, definitely. We've got some more. Obviously, there's gonna be more game modes for D-Day.
Yes.
I've got one mode that I don't think anyone's ever done that we've got an idea to do, and then we'll do a lot of the standard ones like team deathmatch, free for all, capture the flag, those sort of things.
Are we gonna do a hardcore mode like one life and death, and then you have to sit and watch your friends play because you're an idiot
Elimination.
and ran out
That's
and got killed?
elimination mode.
No, like hardcore search and destroy from Call of Duty was my all-time bread and butter, man. Like,
Right, you get eliminated. You have to wait.
Yeah.
You get eliminated.
Yeah, man. Are we gonna get something like that?
Yeah, we could definitely look at doing something like that if there's enough interest. If that's something people want to see, that wouldn't be too hard to put in there.
Guys, people in my chat are saying you keep cutting him off.
Most people are not interested in that shit.
Let the man talk.
Yeah, we do.
Just let us know what sort of modes you want to see, and we can definitely work them in. Stuff like that is not hard to do. It's getting all the mechanics in there, player spawning, shooting, all that. Once you have that done, then, team deathmatch, free for all, that stuff is not that hard to do. It's just a matter of how you're scoring the points, how you're setting the teams up. So, once we get the basics in there, team modes are not that much more extra work to do. So.
Yeah.
So you guys got this shit just like you did on Honor and Duty, and going forward, it's still gonna kick ass.
Hopefully, that's the goal.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, Honor and Duty too. From what I've seen and everything, all the videos, it looks awesome. I see every video they upload right away, notifications.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, every time you guys upload a video, I'm there like, wow, I can't wait. Like the tanks and everything blew me away. This blew me away.
So real quick,
been working on the Periscope system. Yeah, go ahead.
Dave,
just to throw this out there. I don't really know much about, have you guys talked about a release date for D-Day, or do you have anything you're eyeballing a quarter?
Yeah, we're shooting for July 24th. So.
Wow, that's not.
Wow, really? That's really close.
Jesus, man.
Did you hear that, guys? Oh, wow. First time.
You
heard it here first. Yeah. July 24th, Honor and Duty D-Day. Wow. Awesome. Okay.
And that's not too long. Is VR going to be from launch, or
that'll be in a Polish Paul video in about 2 minutes.
Tweet me.
I got the greatest news in the village.
Yeah, PSVR owners must watch this video. Great PSVR news.
Make it more clickbaity.
And real quick, too, that's going to have VR from launch, too, right? Or is it going to be added?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. D-Day is going to be pretty much a made-for-VR title.
Oh,
We'll
awesome.
Still have
okay.
There we go.
Right. There is no 2D players, I think, after that, right? So there's no more cross reality.
Yeah, there'll be flat players, and
okay.
So we can segregate them if we, if it's a problem, if the flat, the flat players, they're going to have the same movement speed as the VR players. So
exactly. I just thought it was going to be like an all VR game. I didn't know it was going to be for like 2D and VR or just VR. Okay, so now we know. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think with 2D. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Go ahead,
I think
Paul.
just with 2D you've got more players in it to play online.
Yes, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Okay.
So have you guys noticed one way or the other, like what the player base is leaning, VR versus 2D? Because I feel like with a game like this, once it hits VR, the VR community just jumps all over it. And it's like, hey, we don't have anything like this. When you release a game that starts right off the bat with VR already built in, how are you guys going to push like the 2D kind of adoption? Do you have any ideas for that?
I'm really just kind of pushing the VR, part of it. Really.
Yeah.
I think, I really think the VR stuff will probably drive the 2D stuff. If you got a lot of VR players out there, their friends see them playing it, they may pick it up. So, I think the VR probably will drive the 2D in this aspect, in this case.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, we'll continue to do our regular social marketing of it, try to get, awareness out there. But I'll tell you that's the biggest thing that we need is more social awareness. I mean, we're a tiny studio. We don't have the marketing efforts of the big guys. And so just getting people aware of our game is our challenge. So, you guys do us a tremendous favor every time you mention us and, kind of keep the community aware of what's going on. So that's the biggest thing y'all can do to help out. It's just kind of spreading the word.
Sweet. We will.
If it's
that's why we do it, man. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely. Awesome.
All right. Well, any other questions? I mean, I feel like I've kind of taken up all the time.
Yeah. We wanted to know everything. Yeah, release date, July 24th, nice one.
Yep.
So everybody said you guys have asked all your questions. Strange answer.
Yeah.
That was the greatest interview I've ever been a part of, to be honest.
That was cool, man.
Same here. That was my first ever interview.
Yeah,
me too.
I was gonna say, are you like taking time off from
fine.
CNN or something, Lewis? Like,
No, that was very good.
Busted my interview cherry.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move on to community questions, and these questions come from our own channels, which is actually the entire
so excited
community.
about this part.
And what we're gonna get into here, and from this point forward, is going to be, of course, how we feel about VR, games in general, and peripherals, hardware, software, everything. So that's what we're gonna get into right now. So I'll shout out every guy that did these questions. So I'll say who did the question, and we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna go left to right, and the next time we're gonna go right to left. So Preach, you'll go first the first time, and Lewis, the next answer or the next question, you're gonna go to you first. All right.
Alrighty then.
All right. So this one comes from J Biggs Gaming. Should Sony release an updated PSVR this gen or next, or just release better moves and tracking? Also, on top of that, in conjunction with that, was Roy Schwartz says universal movement for the moves. Should we have universal movement, meaning it's always forward, back, left, and right, and across the board when we get a game, and then when you do other things, those are the buttons that are left over.
Okay.
I
will try and remember all that. Okay, next gen headset, or a headset next. No, not to the next generation. I don't see the point right now. The PlayStation Pro does a good job, but it's not powerful enough to warrant an upgraded headset with any kind of 4K, 8K, 12K, whatever the hell you want to put in there. No, I definitely don't think so. As for upgrading the Move controllers, I think it's going to be a difficult job for them to do, given the type of tracking that they use. So it would have to be a package deal. It would have to be like a new set of tracking with a new set of Move controllers, because the light-based tracking with the big balls on the top, I don't see how that would work. The best they could do would be
big balls.
Big balls, yeah.
That's what Paul's here for. That's what Paul's here for, baby.
Balls.
Balls, spoiling with peace. So the best they could do would be to slap thumbsticks on, but it feels a little bit like it's getting late in the game for that, maybe.
Yeah,
right.
Nobody wants to rebuy peripherals at this point that they already basically have,
And then, you've got poo guys like, Reggie here, who's doing 7 days a week, and then you have like another set of controls that you'd have to...
Yeah, they release a new controller. That's what you got on your feet. You operating with your feet. Did you saw that?
I did,
but
yes.
That's like third-party controller. But I don't think how that would work on PSVR, like when you stand up and shit.
I'd like it to stand up, because you need to sit down with that shit.
Yeah, you need to sit down and then you operate it with your feet. But then, how many games will support it?
Can we just agree
No,
that more games need Verzoom support? Because my Verzoom
With
is
the
just sitting
bicycle?
here unused.
Hey, you can buy Virzum for 70 quid now.
Yeah, I'm just fucking around. I don't actually have one. Nobody here has one.
Oh, that you can buy attachments
No,
to your
I've never seen
to
anyone
your
who has one.
bike.
Hey guys, wait, real
far as
quick, sidebar. Do you think if we all bugged Verzoom, they'd send us some free bikes? Because nobody's covered that. No, literally nobody's covered that shit. And we could have a thing where we all talk about their little bike on the show.
I've sent them email and I asked them, can they send me one over?
Not to
Probably
Poland.
never replied.
They said not to fucking Poland. We'll send it to America.
Yeah, that would be. I would totally take that for free.
All right, so back on talk. Preacher, you done?
Just the last part of that question, which was to do with universal controls. If I've understood the question correctly, I imagine it's like, raw data, Skyrim, etc., using the same types of buttons. to do the same types of movements.
Exactly.
Yes, we're a year and a half in. We've had multiple really, really good examples of how to do it. Why the fuck, excuse the language, why have they not decided to just copy the guys that have got it right?
Well, a lot of the times games are in development.
You play new game and
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
you play new games and half of them got different controls, and it's annoying as full because you don't know what you're doing at the beginning. You have to get used to controls first and then play the game.
Yeah, as a consumer, that really
True, right?
sucks. That really sucks. But as far as developers go, it's still so early. Like, they don't know what the market's like. They don't know what the environment's like until, like, when a game comes out that has good controls that everyone likes, these people making the other games with shitty controls we don't like are already, like, 75% done with their fucking game at that point. You know what I mean? So, like, it's like once certain games, like, set the standard, I think we'll see more of it naturally happening because people want to recreate that.
Well,
But if you're working in a vacuum,
at this
like
point.
different lanes, you don't know what, you think you've got the best idea for what works, but then you see everybody else being like, holy shit, that one's way better. And then you realize next game, let's develop it that way. And it all kind of moves forward.
For me, there's enough games out there that use X and O or X and circle.
But this is for the
10
future,
left
though.
and 10 right.
Right, but for the
So-
future, they should use universal. You know what I mean? Like,
You know what?
Well, what
You
do
know
we
what,
think
though?
is the
How about
game
this?
that sets the standard for
Well,
like
here-
Universal? Like, what would be the game
Oh,
that we'd
you're
copy?
You're gonna have to take something like
Skyrim, I think.
Skyrim. I think Skyrim. Yeah, Skyrim's good.
Doom VFR did. Oh wait, both Bethesda games. No shit. Fucking
Skyrim.
Bethesda.
Skyrim Raw Data did it. Raw Data has smooth turning and walking just like Skyrim. Same controls as well.
Yeah,
No
well,
I like
they,
the one in
yeah,
Apex Construct, smooth walking.
They just added it, right?
Apex Construct.
Yeah.
And
Solus,
Apex Construct,
and the Solus,
Apex
and the Solus
Construct.
Project.
Oh,
And the
Oh,
Solus
yes,
Project.
yes.
there was a person's question from the community, not to jump ahead about Solus Project.
No,
but
it's
Mine
on the
too.
list.
I got that too. It's on the list. I got
okay.
that.
It's on the
Yeah.
list. It's on the list.
Yeah, I
It's
got
all
that
on the
question
list.
too.
So anyway, Nat, what do you have to add to
Yep.
this? Since you were technically next after Preacher.
Well, the problem that you got with the Move controllers is they brought out new Move controllers, what was it, almost a year ago. And they did nothing. It was literally the same Move controllers as it was before. They just improved the battery life and gave new connections. If they were going to put analog sticks on them, that was the time to do it. Because they'd already had, 6 months, 8 months of people saying, we need analog sticks on the controls, we need analog sticks, we need analog sticks. They've left it. It ain't happening. No matter how much we bitch, moan and want them, they're not going to come. They're going to come
Absolutely.
next gen.
No, you're right.
But we
It's
signed
as
the
simple as
petition.
that. I signed the petition, why wouldn't I? There's
Let me
no
smash
reason
that
not
high
to sign
five
the
for that.
petition. But
I signed the petition as well, man. And I'll tell you
I
what.
shared
when
my
I-
sign and shared it. Why they don't listen to us? Bastards.
They don't listen to us because our install base is too low. There's not enough market saturation. to
PSVR has the
justify
biggest
Sony.
install base of any of the headsets, though.
Yeah, but when
Easily,
you compare Sony PSVR install base against PlayStation 4 install base, they don't
Of
give
course,
a shit.
it's still a gizmo. It's still a gadget. You got to pay a bunch of money for. And
Exactly.
nobody, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I don't see
Yeah.
us getting any type of move updates, even to PS5. I'd bet my nuts that what they're going to do is have PSVR work on PS5, and maybe a year in we'll get some moves, and maybe a new version, maybe 2 or 3 years in. With
Hey,
better
well,
tracking.
if that doesn't come true, I'm coming like Rumpelstiltskin for your nuts, man. I'm gonna get those
Yeah,
nuts.
seriously.
I help you.
Me and Paul, let's do the high five again, baby. Yeah, there you go.
We all go for AWOL balls.
Hey, I got a 17-year-old and I got a one on the way, man. You can shop them off. I don't want them anymore.
There's no way they are launching PSVR 2 at the same time as PS5.
Exactly.
I don't think so. Like, yeah.
The financial side of it would be crippling for
Well,
most
true.
people. You're looking, I agree with AWOL, you're most probably looking at a year to a year and a half. However, if Sony do not make the current PlayStation VR compatible with PlayStation 5, they're fucking morons. That's the simplest thing.
Well, it's not
The
the
operating
headset. The
system-
headset's not the problem.
Yeah, the operating system and the programming code that they're using, they're going to be using for PS5.
Oh yeah.
Because why would they change it? Literally, the coding they're using is the same as PCs. And it's worked for them. It's worked for them spectacularly. So why would they need to change it? Again, the only thing I can see them doing with a PS5, which again I would think would be stupid, is removing a disk drive out of it. But I can see PS5 being compatible with PS4 with the titles, so we won't lose our games next generation going forward.
Yeah.
PS3 I
Most of them
understood.
are digital anyway.
The thing is, like
Right.
Dave was saying, I think there's nothing too wrong with the headset. Like, if you actually had something that was like with the room we're in right now, if you had something more powerful power in this, it would still look pretty damn good through this headset.
Yeah, it's not a
Resolution
bottleneck.
is
No, but it
headset,
would
yeah.
still look good. So yeah, PS5 this headset, that'd be fine, especially for the first year or two.
But everything can always be upgraded and stuff like that. So I might say, if it's 18 months down the line, yeah, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I'm
But like I
happy
said,
with
they just
what I
need
got
to
now.
they just need to make sure this is running.
I mean, I still
As,
don't even have a
with
Pro,
PS5.
so like I'm not jumping on any kind of PS5
Yeah, I think
bandwagon
it's what
anytime
people
soon.
want the most is bigger games for PSVR. Even now, I think people don't care that much about PSVR 2, but to get some bigger games,
Well, the
Yes.
problem at the moment is everybody's focusing on graphics. And to be honest, I think we've got a head up on PSVR because, all right, yeah, we do care about graphics to a certain extent, but the most important thing to us is gameplay. If you, like the guys from Honor and Duty, he turned around and said, look, our game don't look the best or anything. But what's important about that game, and you guys will attest to that more than I can, is the gameplay's cool. You enjoy the gameplay, you enjoy the game, and that's why you go back to the game. It's not because it's got a certain visual style. Yes, it does, but you're just like, well, look, I don't really care about that because guess what? When I play the game, I have fun. What I'm hoping next generation is we get away from this frigging crazy obsession with crazy graphics. Don't get me wrong, I love my God of Wars and I love my Horizon Zero Dawns and stuff like that and looking all pretty and shiny and stuff. But what I want is emergent worlds. I want bigger worlds that are alive. And you can do that with your stuff. Yeah, Skyrim VR, but imagine when
Something
you go into Skyrim
created
VR,
from the scratch
rather than
for that.
rather
Yeah.
than the NPCs
Right.
that you have, which have a set not move set, but talk set. What about if they literally didn't have 4 lines, which is what they've got now? What happens if they got 5,000 lines? That's what I want. I want to go into there and literally sort of like say, you look like a duck, and literally the NPC responding to that, going, you bastard, or something like that. You don't have that option. That's, I think, the next generation. Make the worlds bigger, more alive.
Yes,
That's
The
still pretty
graphics
far out, I
are
think.
nice, but
it's definitely far out. But
no, I mean, if you look at where they've got with the Impatient very quickly, all right, the Impatient ain't a great
yeah,
game.
impatient is.
But,
Let's not talk
you
about
do-
the fucking impatient.
Are we
you've
gonna get
got
on
a
that
very you've got a very small
Is that one of the
space
subjects?
talking. So yeah.
Can you talk about impatient?
Hey,
It's
hold
not on the
hold
list,
hold
Paul.
Actually, we're just moving to that right now, and we're not going to talk impatient. We're going to talk supermassive. So
Supermassive
okay.
disappointment.
We can
yeah.
talk Supermassive, that's fine.
It's a
we're gonna-
supermassive
we're gonna-
disappointment.
we're going to move on to supermassive. So
Well, that is
it's a
Impatient,
company.
isn't it? So,
It's a company that gave us 2 hype games already. That
Yeah, mostly.
I covered very badly, like going, they're pile of crap. And Nat had a video on his channel talking about a leak, saying, well, we were actually working on 3 games.
Oh,
Now,
that news article you're talking about.
Yes, from Eurogamer, guys.
Yeah, that was huge.
So,
That was huge. Check
we're
that
gonna,
out, everybody.
We're going
It's
to
a big
talk
article,
about
big article.
We're
I
going
read
to
the whole
talk about
thing.
Impatient and Bravo Team, but here's the thing. At the end of this, how long is it before the community respects Supermassive again to buy another game? Even that includes
Holy
us, the guys,
shit.
that buy them on launch day. So after the Impatient and Bravo Team debacle, if there's a third pile of shit, how long do they have to hold that and hide it and go, oh, by the way, we're back as a AAA game studio supposed to be making good VR games before we
I
trust
won't
them and buy
trust
it
They
again?
any-
accidentally,
No,
they,
no, wait.
they
They have to-
accidentally
they know what they
happened to
have-
become a
Is it my
AAA
turn?
studio.
Hold up. Yeah. It is Lewis. Lewis goes first this time, and this time, guys, you'll get your turn. Just to go around table.
All right, wait, it's
Can
okay,
we all
get a
please
little
shout
nuts,
over
but-
each other
yes,
too?
But listen, check
Please?
this out. No, but with the I'm sorry, what was the question again? Shit.
Supermassive.
Really?
No, with Supermassive,
Supermassive.
okay, but look, we're trusting them. We're trusting them. What they're gonna have to do is open up to us completely. They're not gonna have to show us one little fucking trailer that's gonna look like a little bit amazing, and then like, oh, we may want to buy that game. It looks kind of cool. No, they're gonna have to be behind. We're gonna have to be right behind the fucking scenes with them the whole fucking time. They're gonna show us the game, show what it's like, making sure that everything is going smoothly because we're not gonna buy it otherwise. Honestly, I can't trust them.
Agree.
So what they just did with the Inpatient was Rush of Blood was amazing. Can we go back to Rush of Blood? Because what the fuck, with Rush of Blood was so good. I know maybe that was the first game they focused on, right? So they were just focusing on that one at the time. But now they're focusing on 3. So
Yeah,
and then the one we don't even
PS4
fucking know
as well.
about. We don't even know about the third one. We know about the first 2, the Bravo Team and the Inpatient, but what's the fucking third one?
Well, they also
Nobody
do,
knows,
they
and
also
does
do
anybody
flat
give a
games
shit
too.
either?
They do flat games too, so they're spending time on that as well.
They do.
Yeah,
Right,
said
they do.
7
They
games
might be
for
working
price.
another like Until Dawn or something, but still. But
Team
like,
Lewis,
Agenda,
how-
they did.
Lewis, how about this? Do you feel? I forgot to add this in. Is this a time for a game like Supermassive to be required by consumer law to give us a demo of this third
oh hell
mystery
yes,
game?
sir. Oh hell
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Oh
There we
hell
go.
yes.
All right.
We need a demo. Because look, you played game like who played? Everybody here played the Persistence demo, right?
Oh hell yeah!
Everybody
For this
Persistence
shit.
demo. And as
That's a
soon
really
as you
good one.
turned that shit on, it was like fucking sold, right? Like we knew it. So that's what we need. Like demos is
And
very
Moss,
important.
and Moss,
but
Moss too.
but
Star Child.
Supermassive. Yes, Star Child, Moss was great.
Ooh,
They're all
Star
like,
Child, can't wait.
But we need. Nat has mentioned this many times.
I love you,
Nat
Paul.
has mentioned
We
this
just
many.
high-fiving each other.
Nat has mentioned this many times where we need more demos. We need just more fucking demos. That's it. There's no excuses. Like
Honestly,
at this point.
can we
Yeah, I think
can we
they're
get
just showing them some
Strange
games.
Games to chime in on this? Because I think a lot of people who develop these games are like smaller developers, and a demo is like
That
a
is
whole
true.
separate thing you have to do.
He's back.
Let's get him in here. Yeah. So if people
right.
asked you for a demo, how much extra work is that to create a full-fledged demo that runs? And I mean, that's a whole separate work stream, right? It's a kind of a
Yeah, it is, actually. Now, when we're doing games for the 360, pretty much every game had to have a demo. And so you
Where the
just
hell's he
kinda
been the
built
whole
that
time?
in. What now?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know how this happened.
We were already used to doing that back in the 360. So
Get back in your chair. Let him answer the question.
I'm trying. Okay.
it's not that big a deal to do it. But on the consoles now with Sony, it has to be a separate game. So you got to go
Yeah.
through the whole process. So it's more
Jesus.
work, but it's not that big a deal.
Okay, so if it's not that big a deal, then
But
we
do you
need
still
more
have to go
demos.
through PEGI rating twice and all that shit?
That's an interesting question. I'm not sure if you have to do that or not for a demo version. But, it's definitely, if they could let us put one game out there and then just kind of, the way the 360 did it was you had a variable you could check, and it told you if the game was running in demo mode or not. And so if it was running in demo mode, you would limit the levels or whatever. And that wasn't hard. You had one game, one set of coding, and, you just did things depending on whether it was a demo.
And the way they presented it on their store for you to download was just based on that. You didn't have to do anything,
we didn't have to
compartmentalizing
do
a separate demo and.
Right. And if they did that, it would be a lot easier, and you might see more, more demo versions out there. But so right now, we do have to make a separate version. That's why we haven't updated the demo version of Honor and Duty with
True
VR
that.
support. It's just you got to go back in and almost redo a lot of the stuff we've already done back into this other, separate version of the game. So.
Yeah, I don't know. My favorite demo has been the Resident Evil 7 demo. That was my favorite demo of all time. Just want to
That's when
throw
it's
that
come
out
out. It's
there.
been like a best game on PSVR.
Yeah,
The
and that was like the
Resi
best
demo,
demo I've
yeah.
ever played as a VR demo. It was like, holy hell.
Well, it wasn't just the demo. I mean, because obviously you did have the demo come out, but even before that, you had Kitchen. Now,
Yeah, but Kitchen I
gave
didn't
us-
get.
Right,
I didn't
yeah.
even know about Kitchen until like Kitchen, like it since like as a new PSVR owner, I got my shit and I turned on all the demos and everything, and it says Kitchen. Well, I think I'm gonna go make a sandwich or something. I didn't know what the fuck it was, so I was like, I don't want to play that. Dude, I don't want to play that shit. So I downloaded the actual Resident Evil 7 Midnight Hour demo, which also helped me get over my VR sickness, by the way. Was walking around in that game for hours upon hours.
Oh yeah.
That was, as far as demos go, there was so much content in that one, and you could like replay it. I felt like there
right?
was,
Yeah.
I played it like 12 times, dude. Yeah.
But that was like the original system seller. I mean, that was like
Yes,
the
it was.
check.
It was.
like,
Oh, yeah.
besides like Eve
yeah.
Valkyrie and shit. Eve Valkyrie was a huge one.
right.
Oh, right.
No, it was. I
Some
was
people
so
still don't know
hyped for
that
it.
you can play Resi demo in VR.
Yeah, I know. I took the day
Beginning
off of
hour, you
work.
can play it in VR. Yeah.
Yeah, I took the day off of work to play that game.
Thank you.
You took the day off work.
Yeah, well, is
I
that the
did.
same question? Got to go to Paul.
I did.
there?
Fuck that shit, dude. I was hyped about PSVR because that was still new to me at the time. I just got that shit for Christmas, and Resident Evil 7 was on my super hype list, man. It was just like, forget work. Who gives a shit?
What was the question we were talking about?
I don't
that's-
fucking know.
Supermassive.
Oh, Supermassive.
That's
Can I,
Supermassive.
can I take my turn?
You know what, Dave, it's your turn, please. Yes.
Okay.
Please, Dave.
So
Well,
I
can I
read
just
that.
want to quickly run back to that Supermassive bit quickly?
Oh, I think that's what we
Where
were.
you were saying, what would we need to trust them? First of all, we need a good game. If they come out with another mediocre game, that's it. They're done on VR. It's impossible. If they come out with a game of the level, and it has to be honest, it has to be better than Rush of Blood that Lewis was talking about. Great.
I don't
first,
think it
that's
has
the
to be
first letter of trust.
better
Well, play
than
the game.
Rush of Blood.
Oh, it's got to
Rush
be
of
better
Blood
than Rush
is-
of Blood. That's what I'm saying.
Why? Because Rush of
Because
Blood is
Rush of Blood
great.
was the initial one.
That's I don't
But
know.
it still has to be better than that.
I think it has to be just better than the
A
ones, the
developer
shitty ones.
is meant to get better with games. Look at somebody like Naughty Dog, right? No, it's not VR related, but you look at Naughty Dog. Uncharted, pretty good game. Uncharted 2 went to a completely different level. Uncharted 3 went to a different level again. Then they Jesus Christ, they brought out Last of Us, which went on to a completely different level again.
But have you played
You
Crash
need to keep
Bandicoot?
moving up. Yeah, Crash
Sorry, I'm
Bandicoot's
just fucking
great.
around. Go ahead.
No, they were toting from the side of Supermassive way before we got any gameplay, anything was going on. They were going, these guys have already made a VR game. That's what started the hype. And I had a kid on my channel, my fucking first impression, saying I spent my Christmas money on this pile of crap, and he was bummed. Somebody who doesn't have a lot of money to spend, and because of
yeah.
the hype,
Yeah.
and because it's expected that these companies step the bar up, just like he said, they failed miserably. They did it with Impatient and Bravo team, and I'm not on my channel going to sit and give them any slack, period, for the rest of time until they step it up again. But
All right,
yes,
so can we go back to the circular thing?
yes, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Yeah, it is
That's
Dave's
okay,
turn.
it's
I
okay.
passed it off to Dave. I don't know what happened there.
So we all read the Eurogamer thing, right? The expose.
Yes,
about
yes, I read the whole
Supermassive.
fucking article,
Okay,
Dave.
yeah.
Yes.
I feel like
I
that
did
is that explains everything. There's really nothing else other than so they lucked into being a AAA game studio. They got lucky with the formula.
Yeah.
People were saying that Until Dawn, the base 2D game, which now everybody loves and has been on free on PS Plus, and everybody knows
Free
that
PS.
game. Yeah, that was just like everyone thought it wasn't looking too hot, and then all of a sudden they were just like, "Oh, well, actually, this turned out pretty good." And then based on that, they had such kind of a wave of hype behind them that they got too big for their fucking britches, and they were like, "We can make all these kinds of games. We can make a game
Yeah,
that's
they
totally
got
different
on a
than
high
Until
horse.
Dawn."
They got on a high horse for a
Yeah,
little bit.
we can make a
Yeah.
military-style first-person shooter because we made a story-based horror game. Like what? I don't know. Like it's just a reach.
That makes no sense. Completely
Yeah,
opposite.
exactly.
Like
And
that's
so
crazy. Yeah.
If they could scale their focus back and like, so Telltale games, even though they've fallen off for sure, they got huge on knowing what kind of game they made well and making the shit out of that game as many ways as they could. And so if Supermassive could figure out something like that with the Until Dawn formula that worked in VR, Inpatient obviously wasn't that. But if they find a
Inpatient was
lane,
fucking bodyline
I think
and
they could
finished
probably
it.
I think they could do something good if they picked a lane. but they're trying to do all kinds of different stuff
True.
that they can't.
True.
And they've also got their 2D games in development too, like Hidden Agenda, which, if you guys know, that didn't really go over very well. You play on your phone. It's like supposed to be. Did you like it? Was it fun?
It was interesting at first, and then it ended extremely quickly.
Yeah, it's like a 2-hour game.
It was a 2-hour game.
Yeah, 2-hour game.
About 2 hours. Yeah. I would.
All right, so
like
that's
to,
my piece.
to,
I've said my piece, but yeah, if you want to go ahead.
It was just in reaction to what you were saying with this isn't my circular thing, but it was just in reaction to what you were saying. Was I wonder how much pressure actually came from Sony, because they've actually pushed Bravo Team and Impatient so
absolutely.
much in every
that's
advert.
part of their that's part of their base marketing is Bravo Team, and yeah, no, you're absolutely.
I don't watch a single Polish Paul video without Bravo Team popping up.
Yeah, Bravo Team. Fucking Bravo Team was shit. I totally didn't like this game.
It's worse than a piss stain on your pants.
It is your turn. It is your turn, Paul. Yes.
It's your turn, Paul.
Right. It started off from everything being massive, and even if you hide somewhere behind like cover, you still get shot. And then you try to duck in real life because you think it's VR, but you duck inside your avatar, so you duck inside geometry.
Wait, what?
Everything.
That happens in Bravo Team? I never even played the fucking thing. Holy shit.
Get the fuck out, really?
Yeah, so everything about this game was just designed bad. And I remember before it came out, I've done like a video like, oh, it might be good, because some people have been shitting on it before it came out. But it's turned out to be shit. Another pile of shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
I agree.
I think they just need to like focus now maybe on one game instead of 7.
Yeah,
and even that, I don't buy their game anyway because I don't trust them anymore what they're gonna release.
So, Nat, you got anything to add to that, brother?
No, I mean obviously I kind of skipped Bravo Team more by default because of the Impatient and the debacle that happened there.
Well, but anybody else here, just from the trailers, Nat, could you tell from the trailers that it wasn't going to be good? Because I feel like it's fairly obvious from the trailers. That
the trailers didn't look great
look at the
at
trailer,
all.
I think when you look at the trailer initially, you just see the action, you're like, oh, okay, that's pretty good. And it's only now, obviously after watching a lot of you guys' videos, when you go back and look at the trailer, especially when I've been doing some of the videos I've been doing recently, because obviously I haven't put myself front and centre. No, I put the actual video front and centre now. So when I did the Bravo Team one, and you were watching it again, it's like, okay, third person. You go from first person to third person. You don't really notice that initially. I think when you saw it in the trailer initially, you kind of figured, oh well, it's my AI partner I'm looking at there, not you.
Yeah.
Because why would you ever go from first person to third person to run somewhere? That makes zero sense. I mean, fair enough they want to go point to point, but stay in first person.
3 to 4 camera cuts here, well.
All right, we're gonna kick the next question, and right after I say this, I will watch my own gameplay on Bravo Team, and it almost fools me into playing the game. And that game looks so good.
Really?
In trailers, man. Dude, I can watch my own gameplay and go, maybe I should go back and play that shit.
I don't know. When I saw it, I thought it looked bland and just like you're doing the same thing over and over and over again.
It looked over and over the trailers,
just like it's all gray and fucking like, I don't know, man.
There's nothing to the buildings. There's nothing to anything in that game.
It's not about
it's very empty game.
It's a very empty game.
It is. But I was looking at it more from a go and take your point and then shoot people. I'm like, how do you fuck that up? And they totally did. They totally did.
Well, but also that's not even a new, like, we have a million games like that. We don't need that fucking game. Like, we have so many wave shooters, dude.
There's so many much better ones though.
Absolutely. Like, I play VR Invaders all day over that fucking game.
Oh yeah, I like VR Invaders.
Me too. That was a good game.
Okay. So we all agree that Bravo Team fucking sucks.
Of course, I didn't even play it, but I know.
Okay.
I mean, for me.
And the Impatient. What about the Impatient then?
Oh,
I'm sorry, Preach. Go ahead.
No, I was just I was super looking forward to the Impatient and Bravo Team. I was similar to Dave. I watched the trailer. I was like, nah, it's okay.
Impatient still looked good off of a trailer, I thought.
It's the graphics of the Impatient looked great. But
it did.
And they pulled off Until Dawn. I mean, like, Yeah, and sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
that's why. That's okay.
But
I mean,
Until
that's why
Dawn was
I
like
was
fucking
looking
Hollywood
forward to it.
production, though. Like it's like it's not like you saw celebrity in The Inpatient. No, there was like 5
That's true.
celebrities.
That fucking
in
Rami Malek guy
Until
and
Dawn.
everybody. Yeah.
Dude,
you're right.
Hayden Panettiere, the guy from Agents
Yeah,
of
Hayden
S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm like,
Panettiere,
what
yeah.
the fuck?
You're right.
Oh, shit. I
I
dropped my
forgot
drink.
about
All right.
that actually.
Yeah, they paid a lot of money for those motherfuckers. Fuck that. I'm sorry. Is
All
it
right,
too much
so-
cursing?
No. Dude, why'd you look at me when you said that? You see my channel.
He's
Okay,
the moderator.
So,
You're the moderator, AWOL. What the fuck? That's why we
I
have
am.
to do.
Hey,
Oh, I meant to hit AWOL. Sorry, preach.
no, I give no.
It's okay.
I give no fucks about your story. So how about this? Let's get on to something that before this past week, a week ago, we had a game come out called what was it called? Arc Park, I think.
Oh, yeah. You guys heard about it? Anybody in here heard of Arc Park?
I don't remember arcing of the arc. What happened? That's hilarious.
I streamed it for like 4 hours just to prove a point how shitty it is.
You did. I was there the whole time, dude, and my eyes were sore.
I don't know why I still bought
So
it.
Hey, listen, I love Arc Park because it's given me loads of source material for my videos.
All right, so
The game
check
is
this out.
shit.
Okay, AWOL. Sorry.
We can break the Arc Park debacle, which is very interesting out of all the games we talked about, because I didn't buy it, Preach didn't buy it, Lewis didn't buy it.
They bought it.
I
Dave
bought it.
Willis
Well,
Paul
but hold
bought
on.
it, and-
I didn't spend real money on
didn't
it.
buy it.
I used store credit because I traded in at a GameStop some old games I didn't need, and then
Well,
got
you
a
still
PS7.
Still a waste of money. That's
And then
a
I got a
waste of money
20%
still.
off card. It was like, it wasn't that bad. It's a big deal.
Okay, here's what's interesting about this game. You have crappy games come out that we all buy and we all review or talk about in our own way. This is a strange one because we didn't have an embargo on it. Like, we didn't sit in our, not an embargo, we didn't blacklist it. But a lot of us didn't buy it, we didn't review it. And the reason I didn't was because I watched Polish Paul play the game for 3 hours. And I'm sitting there.
I think it was 4 hours.
Almost
Dude,
4, dude. 3 hours and 42 minutes.
Dude,
if I'm correct.
That was painful, yeah.
I was so suffering. I was so suffering.
I
and
was hardcore suffering,
He
yeah.
saved me money. So from you guys that played it,
Thank you.
from you guys that played it, Polish Paul, Davestation actually played it.
Yeah.
Brian Paul played a little bit.
He played a couple hours, yeah.
He's not in here though. He's not in here though. So you guys,
Oh, you're
I could
true that,
text
true that,
him and
true
ask
that.
him what he thinks.
fill us in on our part. I told my people not to buy it because I wasn't, and I wouldn't expect anybody that watches my channel to buy it if I'm not.
I did-
Because
yes,
even I
yes.
pass
I mean-
it up. So
Yes.
Polish Paul, Dave Station, you guys fucking, you guys have the floor and tell us about Arc Park and how wonderful it is. Let's try some
Oh,
dinos.
please.
Right, well, it
All eyes
starts
on you
off,
guys.
I think this game looks better on flat screen than when you're in VR because everything seems a bit blurry, even on my PS4 Pro. And all the mechanics are just fucking shit. It's just like broken game. Like when you're shooting them dinosaurs, they just running at you. There is no AI to it or no. It's just boring game, boring as fuck. It only looks good compared to biggest pile of shit you see fucking laying on floor next to your tube. That's what this
Oh, I love this dude. I love this guy.
I can't go after Paul, man. Like, I can't go after Paul. Go ahead.
Too much pressure. You should have won first, Dave.
I know I wanted to. I was trying to sneak in first.
But the developers tweeted and they did say sorry that people had bad experience and they said they're gonna fix the game. So we see if that's gonna happen. And they also said they're gonna release special edition for PS4, which gonna be even more expensive.
Oh my fuck.
And the only thing you
Are
get,
you serious?
Oh, we're going to fix it, guys. We're also going to make it more expensive. That'll be fucking great.
and the only thing you're gonna get in that special edition is you get to write skeletons, T-Rex skeleton.
Why would you,
You can
fucking
pick up
write a
that-
skeleton?
For what the fuck for?
Why would you write a skeleton?
No,
That's
idea.
really-
Dave that's what people want.
Okay,
Because these devs think that they know what we want.
here's what I think. So
You
Paul
can
said
polish
they're-
a turd, but it's still a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, so they can't even polish it because the turd is so baked into every piece. Like the loop, the gameplay loop, is you can't change it without making a different game. So they can polish stuff up, they can add more stuff, but I bet you in a year those dinosaurs will still run like fucking idiots down the same lane, not doing anything, not reacting when you shoot them, and like you're going to be grinding for, I guess, some weapon that makes it easier to beat the stage that's not even fun, and just I don't know.
Stop doing this.
I'm not doing
doing
that,
it.
Paul. That
Why
was
are you
you
doing
that
that?
time. That was you
Who
that
made you
time,
do
Paul.
that?
I'm in the middle of my fucking talk, and you're just slapping my hand.
All right, so we can all now also agree that Arc Park sucks, coming from guys that played it. Then.
Oh well, yeah. So
Somebody
I want to
entered
go
the
into a
room.
little bit
Who's
more
in the
about.
room?
Wait. Let's please, Dave. Yes.
Oh,
Wait, who is that guy?
Go ahead, Dave.
Somebody crept
It's
into our
Seraphim.
room. Oh, Seraphim's
Yeah.
here. Holy shit.
Seraphim's here. I invited Seraphim, guys.
Dude, Seraphim.
Hi guys.
Hey!
I'm playing with my toys.
Yay,
Are
Seraphim.
you sharing your audio so everybody can hear you? Can you guys hear Seraphim? You look
let's
suave
go.
as a motherfucker, man. How'd you get
I
that?
was asleep.
What's happened to your head?
Yeah, all right. That's his hair.
Hey, buddy.
Get in your fucking
What
seats and
what's
sit down.
that?
We gotta get Hey, somebody invite Seraphim into the
I did. I'll invite him to the chat party right now. Give me 1 second,
My
guys.
fucking talking is all over the place.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm inviting him right now.
preacher. Just so you know, Seraphim has the edit thing in his hand.
Oh, he's gonna draw stuff.
Just
Put
give me
that shit down.
No, let him have it. Let him have it. Okay.
Give me.
Somebody asked what we're talking about, and it would be good to
I
let Seraphim
invited
know
him,
too.
Preacher, I invited
It'd be
him
good
to
let
the
Seraphim
chat
know,
party.
too.
Okay.
Seraphim, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay, so we're talking about Arc Park,
Oh,
right?
I invited him to the party a while ago. That's right.
You
Okay.
played Arc Park, right?
Yeah,
Yes, he
played
did.
Arc Park
He
also.
played Arc
He
Park.
did.
That's why I
Yeah.
invited him just now. Perfect
Yeah,
timing,
so
bro.
you're the third
played
one of
it.
us. Paul went, I went. What did you think about Arc Park?
I think it was extremely scary. I'm so angry. I don't know.
All right, thanks then.
I think it's more of a Kickstarter, which is actually illegal. Actually, like it's a Kickstarter, and VR shouldn't have Kickstarters. I don't know. Should it? Should we have Kickstarters? Full price at $70?
No.
I don't think
What
so.
the fuck? No. So Kickstarter at 70 pro. No.
It's
Well,
the same cost as God of War 4.
Yeah, I mean, we also shouldn't have big
I say
franchises
no.
like Arc Park or Arc
Let's
Survival
put our
or
hands
whatever.
in the center.
Getting.
Let's all put our hands in the center. There we go.
How do you use
Hey,
that?
well, you're the mediator.
Why don't we start talking about Roller Coaster Tycoon Joyride now? Is that
You know what?
the
You know what?
time? Speaking
what?
about
It's not on the
games.
list, but
You know
we
what?
should talk about that.
You know what? That's not even on the list, but go ahead, Paul. Tell us about Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Wait, do we have
Yeah, I
Wipeout
would
on the
love
list?
to hear
Do we have
what-
Wipeout on the list too? Because somebody just asked me about Wipeout. We
Oh, no,
definitely
that's
need to
later.
talk
That's later.
Wipeout.
That's later.
We
That's
gotta-
later.
We gotta.
No,
That's
dude,
later.
we're going to talk about the good side. We're kind of drawing on the bad right now.
So I'm telling you guys,
So,
like I
uh,
thought, this is going to be like a 4-hour podcast or something. This is going to be ridiculous.
Oh, I need
Yeah,
to
I
go
feel
news
like
video.
it is. I
I need
feel
to go
like it
news
is,
video
yeah.
today.
Paul, you're not doing
Yeah, I
shit
know. I
today.
gotta eat. I
You're not
gotta
doing
eat
anything.
I gotta eat Easter dinner at some point.
No, you're not doing
Me?
anything.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks.
Paul, tell us about Roller Coaster Tycoon in VR, please.
Fucking shit.
All right, on to the next
All
one.
right.
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on a second. Hold on. Paul, listen, I don't want you to hold back. You really have to tell us how you really feel.
Right, I already said, scraping pictures of a corpse is more fun than playing Roller Coaster Tycoon Joyride.
Oh my god.
Scraping dick what?
Scraping pictures of a corpse
Dick
is more
cheese.
fun than playing this game. I said that in one of my many
Oh,
videos
I
of
know.
this
I
game.
remember that. I just wanted to hear you say it again.
I did. Scraping dick cheese off a corpse. All right, let's get back into more community questions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Sarah,
So
throw
this
me that
comes
frisbee.
from this comes
Hey,
from
Preacher.
God Cannon. What
Nice to
game
meet you, buddy.
surprised you the most in a good way?
Meet you, guy.
Lost Bear.
I was
Really
going to say
love
Lost
the
Bear.
game.
No, I was going to say Lost Bear.
Yeah,
Paul, high
yeah, I
five.
really like Lost Bear.
Lost Bear is
This
great.
is-
Yeah, lost bear.
I haven't even finished
Me-
it though.
You know what?
I'm a
I,
piece of shit.
you know what? I agree. I think other than the Lost Bear, it was Moss too.
But I
was
was
gonna say
already
Moss.
expecting
Can I say
Moss to be
Moss?
great, but
No,
the
I
demo,
wasn't.
Yeah,
because the
I'm sorry.
demo had you ready
sorry.
for it.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't. I played
Yeah.
the demo. I didn't like the demo.
What?
Surprised us the most. That
The
was
whole game is
question. Yeah.
the demo.
Controversial.
I didn't like the demo, but the rest of when I played the whole game itself as a whole, and on the pro, it was absolutely beautiful. I
it's
had
incredible.
fun with it.
Yeah.
I had fun. I cared about the character, Quill. I don't know. I think I had a really good time with that game, and this is why I kind of like the other third-person game that we got this week, which was the Preda game.
Preda, yeah, Preda's great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but can we? But
we're gonna
fucking
get into
progression
Preda.
system in this game. Yeah, okay.
Well, we're gonna get into Preda, dude. Yeah, we'll get into Preda later.
And because of Moss, it makes me want to get Star Child and other third-person stuff like that. Like,
but don't you guys find it funny that some of our favorite games are literally games that could be played on a flat screen TV? Like you can literally.
No, I don't think Moss could ever be played on a flat screen TV. I'm sorry.
No, you can. You can.
I don't
it's
think
a
it
fix.
should.
It would be
It's-
underwhelming
I-
on a 2D.
Where?
It would be
How would you look
underwhelming.
over
Look,
areas you
look.
can't see.
Hold on,
Let
real
me
quick.
finish the-
Seraphim.
Let me finish what I'm saying. So you have Moss. You have something
I
like
literally had to-
The Lost Bear. These are games that were actually taken from flat screen genres that are increased by VR.
Hang on. Are we going to get back to the question?
Look under the table.
Yeah, we're
I
we're
can't.
trying
I'm
to
out
get
of the
back to
play
question.
area.
Okay.
Hold your options button, Dave.
Oh
So-
no, I know what I'm doing. This is on
So
purpose.
some of the games that we all just mentioned
What's going on this under the table?
that are the games that smacked us in the face the most are games that can be played on a flat screen TV. So does VR at this point enhance standard games? I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I guess.
definitely. I think. it is.
I guess right now you could insert something like I don't know a game that may have come out this week called Wipeout, which is better played in VR.
Oh yeah, no.
and it's
Resident Evil, Skyrim, Wipeout, all those games that were ported, all
Give me
work.
my name back.
All work really good. So I don't know. I think that
Wipeout's
some of the
easily
ports,
the
it
best.
depends. Yeah, Wipeout is amazing. It looks
So-
the best. It looks the best.
What I'm trying to get you guys to go out here is if you take some of our best games that can also be played on a flat screen, are they as good? No, I'm not saying they're as good. That's the point. But when you put them in VR, are they not better? And should we be looking at more ports and more attention given to building AAA games in VR, whether they're new ones or ones from the last gen? Preacher, we're going to the left first.
I was going to say, it sounds like a separate question. But, yeah, going back to the whole surprise, though, the game that surprised me the most would be Knockout League. Because I looked at that game in the trailers and I thought, nah. And then when I read about it and it was all, what do you call it, like scripted sort of punching, I thought, nah, this is probably going to be shit. My God, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love that game. And it's super
it's great.
addictive. It makes me feel like a total badass, like Rocky or something. The music, the graphics are fantastic on it. Everything about that game is awesome.
Good workout. I sweat like a pig.
I love Knockout League, guys.
But
You know, I streamed the whole
Yeah.
damn game on my channel.
Exactly, and that's a game that you can't do flat. Not to the level of not where the whole body is completely interacting with
Yeah,
it
yeah.
and you're getting a workout and everything.
I-
And that game completely surprised me. Personally.
So Lewis,
Yes.
you're at the end of the chain on this one. So anyway, Preach.
Yes.
I was saying I
Back
agree.
to- get back to our system seller games that can also be played in flat screen, which is the actual question. Should these devs be looking more at bringing over older games, ports type
Yeah,
things?
I agree
And giving us essentially
Yes.
looking at VR more as something that enhances flat screen more than a gimmick. Should we be doing that?
Yeah,
Oh.
we should definitely be taking ports of older games. I don't see why we can't take stuff from PS3 era and even older if the game's good enough. But definitely PS3 era. We should be bringing stuff over, doing what Skyrim did, because again it's more cost effective because you've got development teams which instead you don't have to pay for your voice actors again. You don't have to pay to code all of the game again, only the bits that require VR, so it's much more cost effective for the studios given the size of the, like you mentioned before, the user base, the 2 million user base that we have.
Yeah,
Right,
they used assets for the
yeah.
VFR from original Doom, and it worked great.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't see why we can't take games like that. I mean, just basically turn my face into the camera that's in all of the
Yeah.
other games,
Right.
and have me look around and do shit.
Seraphin, you're up next in a second.
Well, Crash
Once us-
Bandicoot could be the next.
Oh, delightful.
absolute-
That would be
dude.
delightful. I'd play
Dude,
that
it'd be
shit.
great.
My
All right.
girlfriend.
Hey, Seraphim.
Her
Seraphim.
fucking-
Yeah.
Are you there?
Hey, well. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. How do you? You stole my name again. How do you feel about that question? Do you even know what the hell he asked?
About Crash Bandicoot becoming Preda?
No.
VR games being remade?
Holy shit.
original games from PS3 becoming
Yes,
VR
yes,
games?
Right,
yes,
right.
yes.
I heard
Essentially,
you. I answered
okay.
already. Yeah.
He's done.
I said
Move
Crash
on.
Bandicoot
He
should
means-
be the next Prey.
Yeah, he's
oh,
done.
oh, so that's it. You're done with that. All right,
Yeah.
Nat, go ahead.
Yes and no. Yes, if the game suits it, Wipeout suited a VR upgrade. Something like Burnout Paradise would suit a VR upgrade.
Honor and
BioShock
Duty
would
did.
suit a VR upgrade, for
Listen, we
example.
agree that any first person would be, or a driving game would be suitable. First driving
yeah.
or first person.
But then you look at other things. I mean, I think we got lucky with Skyrim.
Strawberries.
With Fallout, there's meant to have been a lot of issues with it, added to the fact, obviously, we got the entire Skyrim game because it was coded that way. Fallout 4 wasn't, and that's why I understand that wasn't given it. There's enough games that they can port some over, but if all we start getting is ports, that will turn people off very quickly, because what everybody always wants is new IPs or a refresher of a new
I have
IP.
a counterpoint to that. I'm sorry, Paul, I don't want to jump, but I have a counterpoint to that direct
go.
thing.
Jump.
So the Switch completely disproves that idea. People love ports on the Switch. I don't know if you guys have followed the Nintendo Switch's development at all, but
Yes,
it's
yes,
it's
sir.
riding on top
Yes,
of the world
sir.
right now, and some of the biggest games are ports. They're HD remasters of shit. They're older
exactly.
games, and people
What
are
new one just
loving
came
to
out,
buy
too? I
it
forget.
because like
Yeah.
they didn't get to experience it on the last generation. It's like spruced up a little bit, and I think if we
Right,
had
yep.
more stuff like that, somebody commented on my stream just a minute ago. 2 out of the 3 top games are like ports essentially on PSVR.
Right.
Like,
That's
Skyrim,
that's
Yeah,
the
so-
premise of this question. Should we
Yeah.
keep doing ports? Because our top
I think
games
it's a
are
great
Absolutely.
idea. I think
ports.
it's a really good
I think
idea.
it's a
and I
yes
think there's
all
a
around the board.
market
Isn't that an unanimous
story
yes?
that like proves that it's happened like for Switch and it worked. People bought it. They didn't give a shit. They said, "Yeah, I want this."
Oh, yeah.
And so I think that would easily happen in PSVR too.
No,
I
I
don't think
understand
people
what
would-
you're saying with the Switch, but you also got to remember a lot of those games that have turned up on the Switch were games that were available on the Wii U. No one had a Wii U,
I did.
which is an issue. It isn't like I've got a Wii U as well, but
I had
it's
bought
not
all
like
those
it's
fucking
an
games
Xbox or a
before.
PlayStation 3 where a lot of people had those games. The problem that you have is if you keep giving ports, it gives the developers a lazy way out. There isn't going to be any developers that is going to try and push the envelope.
Hey, you know
Look,
what?
I
You know
like
what?
the ports
I
initially.
don't agree with that. I think
I
they're-
want the new IPs that are built specifically for VR. Look, there's some independent developer out there
look.
somewhere that is figuring out a game
Yeah,
that can
yeah,
only be
yeah.
done in VR. And if
Yes,
if
sitting
all
down,
we're giving these
that sounds good.
ports, that's all that when he goes to like let's say he goes to Sony and says, look, I haven't got the money for this, but I've got this great idea. Do this. It's going to cost you this. And Sony say, yeah, we don't really care. Don't get me wrong. I love Crash Bandicoot. We're going to do Crash Bandicoot 1 in VR. Why don't you make that for us? Yeah, but I've got this game. It's going to cost you half the price of Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, we want to do Crash Bandicoot. We're not going to get those new IPs that are going to blow us away.
Thing is,
And
with
that's
so
my
many new
concern.
IPs, yeah. We've had so many new IPs which turned out to be shit, what we've been hyped
Right.
for. I think with ports, at least we sort of know what we're gonna get.
Right.
Yeah, but every console starts with ports.
No, yeah,
Jesus,
yeah.
look at the Switch. It's starting with ports. Trust me, if you're getting ports on
Well,
the
it's a
Switch
good
in
mix.
2
No,
years'
it's a good
time,
mix. It's a
you've
good
got,
mix,
You've got a
I
major
think.
issue.
Yeah,
So-
we need a good mix. We need a good mix, but I would also add that VR adds a massive world of difference compared to just porting it to a Switch or porting it to another flat device. The fact that you're
well,
actually
so-
in the, I mean,
The one thing about the Switch, so I love my fucking Switch, and the thing about it is,
I do too, man. I love my Switch.
people,
Fucking addicted.
it's. I feel like that and VR kind of hit me the same way because it is something different that you haven't really seen before, and it's like surprising that it works as well as it does.
no, but the
and you're
point
just
the
kind of
point I'd
like,
make, the bet. Sorry, Dave.
oh no, go ahead. That's fine.
Have a drink.
No, the point that I would like to add to that would be when I played Doom VFR and I got to the original Doom levels, the game that I played 20 odd years ago on a PC, the fact that it's still the same shitty pixelated textures and it's blocky as hell didn't bother me because I was in Doom.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I agree.
Doom
Yeah.
was
I was
incredible.
actually
I
in there.
loved Doom VFR.
And
Some people gave that
I
a
would
hard
quite
time. but I
happily,
loved that.
yeah, I'd quite happily have the original Doom the full original Doom with all of the pixelated enemies, the sprites, etc., but have me actually in the world, it changes everything for me. So I think that there's still... I agree with what Nat's saying. You can't literally just do ports, otherwise you are going to kill the system. But at the same time, ports are a very good way of bolstering up everything for a cheap cost at this early stage when we don't have, you know, the
AAA titles that we need.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, say you ported this is out of left field Turok for PSVR. It's not a PlayStation game. That would be better than Arc Park easily. That would.
Dude, what the fuck? Well,
Turok's
Robinson
on
was
Nintendo
better
64.
Yeah.
I thought Robinson was better. I thought Robinson was better than Arc Park.
No,
of course
I
it
did too,
was.
Lewis.
Of course it
I did
was.
too, Lewis. Robinson was way better, and that was the launch title.
Are we gonna? Are you missing Seraphim?
Seraphim's probably off doing something. I bet she's just wandering around.
Actually,
he's wandering around.
I'll answer. No, I was accidentally got out of the door. Another invite would be great. That'd be awesome.
Gotcha, buddy.
I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
No,
Alright, so we're
Interrupt
gonna
us.
go off to another question.
Um,
I got you,
This
buddy.
comes from
Unless you got it. You got it. Preach.
this comes from Justin LeBach.
Thank you.
Oh, did he leave?
Hey guys, I gotta step away for maybe like 5 minutes. I'm gonna just leave my headset running and leave the stream running.
You're
I'll be
fine.
right back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Preacher, you can take this first because Luce is trying to get
Okay.
Seraphim back in here. This comes from Justin LeBach. How do your significant others feel about you using the PSVR and uploading to YouTube? And how does it affect your relationship?
Oh, I'm not in this one, guys. I don't have a significant other.
no, neither am I.
Yeah,
No,
it,
6.
it has started. February was a tough month, as much as I can say.
A lot of games in Febs.
Especially with this being new. Since I'm the newest guy here, you know, I'm like 100 and some subs now. This is all new to me. It's all new to her. It's all new to how the hell do I fit this into my normal schedule? Because I got full-time work and then I've got like other hobbies and stuff. And I always seem to take on new hobbies. And this is another one. And February there was a ton of videos, and you were talking maybe 2 to 3 videos per game. You know, like a first impressions and then a review and a let's play. And it did eat a chunk of time, and there was a few times I did get wrong.
There he is. He's sitting over there.
Spending too much time on the VR and not enough with her, so it did affect things a bit. But we're okay. Everything's all right. It's just a learning curve. That's my answer for that one.
So, Nat.
I don't have a significant other, so it doesn't affect that anyway. And besides, I have terrible time management, so that's most probably why I don't have a significant other. So,
Polly Wally.
I just get punching balls every now and then when I wear headset. But apart from that, we work like opposite shift, so it's not been really a problem.
Oh,
Because
nice.
when she's at work, I'm at home.
Oh, so you're lucky enough that she works when you're not working, and you work.
Yeah,
when
most
she's
of
not
the
working.
time, most of the time. Yeah. So it's not really been a problem. When we both at home, sometimes I just don't do the video. Sometimes she go play something on her PS4 and then I do video. It's always somehow like works out somehow.
What about you,
And Lewis, you said you're single?
Oh yeah. Nothing to deal with here.
All right.
Just,
Well, I
just
guess
like family walking in every now and again, like I'm fucking screaming. What do you want? What do you want? That's it. That's about it.
Hey guys.
There he
I'm back.
is. Hey, buddy.
I'm willing.
But
back.
he's back.
Oh my god, that's an effort.
Seraphim,
I'm just gonna have a smoke real quick. Yeah, what's up? Who said that?
do you have a significant other?
God? Is that you? No, hey, well.
Yes, he
well,
does.
those private questions will be answered privately.
So Seraphim, you have a significant other, correct?
Private question. I'll answer it privately.
No,
Oh,
he doesn't
you-
want to answer.
He's passing. I think he's passing. He don't want to talk about it.
What about you,
I don't
Will?
want to talk about it.
No,
It's too
dude,
horrible.
I don't
get it.
I don't have any issues with it. Being the
I'm
white
so lonely, man.
She's 38, I'm 36, and pretty much it is my channel's live stream, so I don't edit things. I don't spend
My
too much
girlfriend's
time.
50.
I don't spend too much time offline. You know, pretty much I do a 3-minute video. That's it. And Jesus, put your bong away. But no, it's
He's kidding. He's kidding.
yeah, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But
He's smoking.
it doesn't
smoking in
affect it doesn't affect you if you have the ability to go as a man, okay, or a woman that wants to do a YouTube channel or anything. Doesn't affect everybody else in the family. I mean, I know all you guys. She doesn't know you guys. And for any type of relationship, when you have online friends that are pretty much like family, I mean, that affects the dynamic of a relationship. So pretty much, you just got to make sure that they know that you care about them and you love them. And when the time comes,
all right, Dr. Phil, let's get back to VR stuff.
They get their attention they deserve, and that is what it is. No, I'm saying, dude, there's 18-year-old kids out there that want to start YouTube channels, and they're going to neglect their girlfriend, and they're going to regret it for the rest of their lives. So I will shut up and not give my advice, but they're going to lose the love of their life over this bullshit. And this is bullshit.
See,
this is bullshit. What we're doing, it's for fun, and it is some childish crap. But that's fine.
Children.
That's fine. I'll do a video on my own channel talking to the young kids about how not to lose the love of your life over stupid video games. I'll do that on my own.
I've seen many videos of like girlfriends destroying their boyfriend's consoles, throwing it in the pool, running it over cars, whatever.
You should have seen how mad I got at Lewis the other day. I threw his console so hard against the wall. I was like, you're not going to play with me anymore.
He did.
Ever.
He did.
I get so mad
Something
at
that
him.
you got with kids though, getting into YouTube, and it's crazy, and I'm sure is you get them and it's like, oh well, I'm trying this, and you know I haven't got the viewers, I haven't got the subscribers, and you know, and they're already planning on making this into a career. And it's absolutely insane. Look, I make the videos I do because I want to have fun. And I've always said this, the one day that I don't have fun is the one day that I'll walk away from it. At the moment, I'm having fun. The money that I get from AdSense is nice. I mean, it helps buy a few games here and there, but it isn't anything I rely on. It's just, I've always seen that as a bonus that happens. And as for the actual videos, look, you can't control how many people are going to watch a video. And all right, we just take the piss out of Paul for his clickbaity titles and stuff. I ain't got a problem with his clickbaity titles. I find them rather amusing, actually.
I take piss out of it as well, so no worries about it.
He's by far not the clickbaitiest person I've ever seen, though. There's worse than him.
But you can put as much clickbait as you want in an article. That doesn't mean people are going to actually view it. So the only thing you can do is make the video that you want to make, put it out there. It will get the views that it gets, and if it does well, it does well. I mean, like I say, I discussed this with AWOL when we were playing Arizona Sunshine. My most popular video has got over 150,000 views. I didn't even think it was a very good video. It's just literally talking about the differences between the new and the old.
That happens all the time. We talk about, me and Seraphim talk about that all the time, yeah. Like, you'll have the shittiest video, now that'll be the most popular one for some reason. And then you'll have a video that you worked hard on, you edited, you put music in, you did all this good stuff, and it got like, 200 views,
50 views.
Well, it's like the old pop video that I did. That was just like me having a bit of fun. Because I remembered the Downfall videos, and I was like, well, I'm not going to... I actually initially tried to do it with Downfall, and it was like, no, the Downfall's like 3 minutes long, it's too long for that. And then I remembered about the Spanish guys laughing. And I was like, okay, well, that's about, I think, a 2-minute video. It's actually a minute and a half. And I was like, you know what, I can cut that down to about a minute, dub certain bits over it, and I think I can make that work. And I think a few people will get a chuckle out of it, and it's done really well. But yeah, I just kind of did it for me because it actually made me laugh. And then, obviously I've had you guys turn up and say, actually, this is hilarious. Please, please do more of them. So... But yeah, like I say, I just did it because it's like, well, this makes me laugh, so maybe it'll make other people laugh.
7 degrees? Is that you?
It is, Seraphim.
Dude! I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else. Hey, buddy.
Nah. It's me, Seraphim.
You look good. You look good. I'm confused, but I'm okay.
I'm
Keep
back.
your eyes this high.
I'm back.
Not down.
Stop looking at my
I've got those
She does look good.
This whole time,
7 degrees, is that you?
What you're up to?
That was hilarious.
Kids, if any kid wants to get into YouTube, get into it because you want to have a bit of fun, you want to have a bit of loss. It can be hard to do it. Like I say, with the videos, as you say, that me and Paul, Dave, concentrate on more edited type videos. That takes up a lot more time to do. So you got to make sure that you're doing it because that's the video you want to do. Put it out. If it gets 100,000 views, it gets 100,000 views. If it gets 12 views, it gets 12 views. If you're happy with the video, you're successful.
It's whatever. I do. This is for what? Are we getting into that now? The question about the YouTube channels and blah blah blah.
You know what? And that's where we'll go with this. So that's what we're gonna do now. So why do we all do it? Why do we
got a
fight?
question?
We might as well
Seraphim's
just
got his hand raised. Cool. He's so polite.
He is.
When I was a kid, my parents were really against gaming, and they were like, "Don't touch games. You're not allowed to get. If you're gonna get a game, you're not gonna get a car. You gotta get a job. You gotta work hard, man. You gotta work."
Wait,
hard.
did they never play like cards or anything? Like they never.
They never let me
like,
have fun. So I'm like,
but did they ever play games that weren't video games?
my dad was an asshole. Like he was a real prick.
Yeah.
He was like all work and death only. And
Well, you turned
my
out
mum was
great.
like, crazy. I didn't, but I did my best. Thanks. I think I turned out okay. I'm a little messed up, but I gotta say, I'm the happiest I've ever been, probably right now, because of VR. You know what I mean? Like, it gives me the chance to relive those childhood dreams that I never got to have, which is fantastic.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really
fantastic. And that's why YouTube's good for me, because I feel like I can share my experiences. Because I feel like when I experience them myself, it's going nowhere, like in a black hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's no point in experiencing
It's true,
it myself.
true. Yeah, very true.
It's strange.
Oh, it's great stuff, Seraphim.
That's how it started.
Yeah. I don't do it. I don't do YouTube for.
You made him walk out of the party.
He's walked out.
I don't do it for money. The YouTube, I don't want
Dad.
any money, but I just booked honeymoon and bought wedding rings, so I've got donations on. So feel free. But, no, it's not for money.
Well, congratulations to your engagement there.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
It's
it
awesome.
cost, yeah, honeymoon book.
Congratulations.
I'm
Yeah,
skint now.
congrats, Paul. Give that high five.
Wait, hold on a
High
second.
five, I
Paul.
got things to.
Paul just didn't answer the significant other impact question though, and you're getting
did.
married.
Oh, okay,
Wait, the
sorry.
impact. So I wasn't here for this, but the funny thing is, while I was away, my girlfriend was wearing my headset, just looking at you guys, not saying anything.
No shit.
Yeah, no, I was gone for that
Did
whole
she saw
time.
my? Did
I
she
don't
saw
know
my?
what she
I got an
I don't know
invite
what she
from like
saw,
a
Paul.
random
Holding hands.
person. I got an invite from like a random person.
But what was the question
No, I'm not really sure.
about? Was it impact on your spouse
And
or
your
significant
relationship
other?
in real life, pretty much.
That
yes,
was-
on-
that
with
was
VR
the last question,
And YouTube
and
channels.
Dave-
And YouTube
Well,
channels.
I feel like
Hold
so
on, hold on,
honestly,
hold on,
she
Dave,
likes
and
she likes this shit.
On top of that, hey,
You like it, right? Yeah, she's
Dave,
into it. She
Dave,
thinks it's cool.
On top of that, though, we're on another question, which is why you do your channel, actually, like why you do it. So answer both in one go.
Oh yeah, well I just did the one about this significant other because she's sitting on the couch. She said she's into it. She
Cool,
likes
cool,
it.
yeah.
It's not. I mean, she also lives about an hour away. We're not like we don't live together or anything. like that.
Oh,
So it doesn't really
okay.
infringe on like us spending time together. And she likes VR stuff too. I've put her in Rush of Blood. There's like a stream of her doing Rush of Blood.
Yes,
oh hey, Brian
Sarah.
from Without Parole just commented he does it for drug money. Brian, I thought you got clean, man. I thought you turned your shit around. Is there a litter box episode about how you're relapsing? Okay, so anyways, hey, what's up,
I
Brian?
wish Brian
Thanks for-
could be here.
He could. Brian, get your ass in here. We got room. We could put another chair around here. Anyways,
And Frankie.
why do you do it?
I want to
So
see Frankie.
when I realized I had the PSVR, Seraphim, we decided we weren't going to do that on the stream.
Yeah.
Does anybody else see this glass that's just stuck inside the lamp? Paul, I was trying to show you earlier. Look at this thing. You see this glass that's
Did it
just
look like I
stuck
was
inside the
messing
Oh
lamp?
yeah.
It is, yeah. You're
It's
right.
just hanging out.
That's amazing.
I liked it better when it was in there.
I've got cards,
I wanna put it back in
and
here.
this thing stuck to my hands.
Oh yeah, you can just stick it right in there. Hold on. Hold on.
Dev, what are we
what
not
she
doing
said.
on the stream?
Oh, anyway,
Best round
so
table
the,
ever, guys.
the reason why you do it, I realized pretty early on that you could just hit a button and be broadcasting on YouTube, and then I realized that even though I was just drunkenly talking about pixel gear, people were like watching it and like commenting, and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. This is cool.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
as I started doing it, I realized that there wasn't really anybody covering a lot of these smaller games. And, like, you look at IGN, you look at I mean, I don't anymore, but, like, even websites I look at for gaming coverage, they don't talk about fucking PSVR unless
Nope.
it's Moss
you're
or
right.
it's Resident Evil 7 or something huge.
Yeah.
Like, a
Right,
couple
right.
places mentioned
Huge,
Wipeout.
huge.
A couple places mentioned Wipeout.
Sir,
And there was
get back
one
here,
really good
sir.
one that was like, hey, stop what you're doing and play Wipeout on like Kotaku or something, which is like pretty big. But I felt like, nobody was covering this stuff, and if I could and people would watch me, then fuck it, I might as well. So
Nice
yeah.
answer, man.
I just broke everyone's neck
Yeah,
in like
it's
5
fun.
seconds. If this
Sir,
is a real
get out of
fight.
here.
So,
That took you longer than that. Polish Paul.
Yes. Yes, I'm here.
Wait, skipping me?
nice to meet you,
Well-
Polish Paul. I love your channel, by
Hello.
the way. It's
Have
so
you guys
good.
never
Thank you.
talked
So
before?
funny.
Thanks.
Love it.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Paul. I want to hear
And
Paul talk.
Davestation.
What
I
video
can
are you
listen to
talking
Paul talk
about?
all. I can listen to Paul
I love
talk
it.
all day.
Why I'm doing YouTube?
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm doing.
Do YouTube.
Sorry, this
I'm
is being
doing YouTube.
recorded, Paul.
I don't know. I just started. I bought. What did I bought? I bought something really shitty, and
You
I done
started on
video
a
about
boat?
it. And then people watched it, so I was thinking like, fuck it, I do some more.
Essentially,
and that's how
yeah.
I started.
Yeah. That's how it is. Didn't you say the first video you saw of someone on PSVR doing YouTube was me playing Perfect?
Yeah, that was.
That's one of my most popular videos,
PSVR
and I'm
video.
just shitting all
Yes,
over that fucking game. I always worry if an End Dreams game comes out, I'm like, should I even bother asking them for a code? Because they're probably just like, oh, that's the guy who has the top-rated Perfect video about how it's terrible.
That's a problem
I
with
get
being
that
honest
so
sometimes.
Nat, you're up.
That,
No, Dave was talking about that. Obviously, I did the video on Don't Knock Twice, and that's the first time I actually had developers contact me, and it was just like, well, thanks for calling us scumbags, and we're really sorry that we made a game that you were so angry about.
Wait, they said that to you? They said that to you? They got
hilarious.
passive-aggressive about it?
I made a video, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'd had a shit day at work, and I went and played Don't Knock Twice, and obviously, as a lot of you guys know, it's shit. Or it was shit when it initially launched. It was horrible. And I was so mad. And initially I tried to go to sleep. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go to bed. And I was like lying there for 10 minutes and I was just tossing. And I was like, fuck this. This fucking game is really pissed me the fuck off. And that's why I made the quick video that I did. Just, you motherfucker, you scumbags, and shit like this. And I didn't think anything more of it. I think it was Do Not Buy, Don't Knock Twice, It's Broken. I think that was the title of it, and left it
I
at
think
that.
I remember that. Yes.
And then I literally started getting messages through, and then I started getting messages from the developer, Wales Interactive, and it was just like, well, we're sorry, we're trying to fix the game. And it was like, okay, you've only seen the first minute of that video. Wait until you pass the minute section. And then literally, I think it was about 2 minutes later, I got another message from them, and it was like, yeah, okay, they watched the rest of the video now, and it was like, we're sorry, you called us scumbags and stuff like that. So, and then, like, so obviously, I've got issues with
That's funny.
Supermassive Games when I obviously streamed
I
The
hate those
Impatient a
people.
few days early. And
Oh, did they give
literally
you a hard
just-
time for that?
They copyright striked me on YouTube, which is why I
shit.
can't stream on YouTube
Yeah, that's why he's streaming on
Wait,
Twitch.
still?
dude.
You still can't stream on... That's terrible. That sucks, man.
until the end of April. You get a 3
No, that happened to me
They
too.
didn't want anybody to know how
Yeah.
terrible
Yeah,
a
so-
game it was.
No, that happened.
cut.
Yeah. Well, I told you that on, when we played Wipeout the other day with the whole. Yeah, it happened
Oh,
to
that
me
was
too
fun
with
as
Farpoint.
shit, too, by the way.
Oh yes,
I've
it
got
was. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
because so-
Seven,
Flippy
we were
Tesla
watching you, me
contacting
and
me.
Lewis, and that day you got in trouble, and it already happened to Lewis one time, so we knew what could happen. So I was freaking out, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude, are you allowed to stream?" You're like, "Oh, I don't care, it's okay," sort of thing. And I'm like, "No, you're gonna get in trouble."
Well, so you hadn't gotten a
I'm so
review code or
worried,
anything,
man.
though, right? You just got
But
it
the thing is,
early,
I
right?
streamed Star Trek Bridge Crew, and that went out 4 days. That actually went out earlier than bloody
Well,
Impatient.
here's the
did
deal. That was a
in
good
relation
game.
to it.
That was
That was a
actually a
PC
good
game.
game that you were saying
Well,
nice
I
stuff
actually
about.
gave Impatient
probably,
a
right?
glowing review.
Yeah, but
Oh,
they
did you
released a lot
really?
of
Yeah,
footage. They had a lot of footage of Star Trek before the game
That's
came
true.
out.
That's
Impatient
true.
had no footage.
It was really
there was
funny
like a
because when I
trailer.
actually put my review up, I was actually. I think, and I've said this to AO, I made a mistake with the Impatient, and I think the reason I made the mistake is I was so excited about having it early that I think I kind of let a lot of the shit that is annoying about that game slide.
Oh,
Because
gotcha.
at the end, there is still a fairly good game in there, it's just that, it needed
It's
to be
somewhere.
about
I never
3
finished
times
it.
longer.
Honestly,
I couldn't
hey,
fucking
so
find. Is it an Easter egg? Because I couldn't fucking find it.
Well, there
I
was one
couldn't
scare.
finish
It
this
should have
game.
been. There was a
Too long.
lot. They could have made a better story, and they could have made more scares, definitely. But,
Too right.
So I kind of gave it a score. It's like, okay, well, you know, there's replayability because you've got different endings. Not that I actually knew I think there's 3 endings in the goddamn game. And then when they hit me, and the bit was, if they'd just turned around and said, look we're going to leave it as a copyright strike, sorry, I'd have been fine. What got me angry about it was they turned around and said, yeah, we're going to leave it as a copyright strike. But if you want to upload the videos again, please do so. We won't copyright strike those. And it's like, hold on a second. You've copyright striked me first time. So that should be a copyright strike across the board. That when I've put them out is irrelevant. So you turning around to me and saying, hey, we can, put them out again. Please do. No, I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that?
They asked because your review was only good one.
If you were under embargo or something, like that's one thing. If you broke an embargo,
that's where they got me.
But did you have a review copy?
I didn't know.
No, he got it from the store.
So here's the thing:
Amazon
there is no concept of an embargo if you buy it in a store. It's not on
I made
you
that point to them.
Yeah, it's not on you to honor their embargo
but that's
because
what
they
happened
didn't
to me,
give you a
Dave.
code. I know it's just fucked
I didn't
up.
know.
I'm just saying it's just fucked up.
I know. It's totally fucked up.
And like part of my early days in the channel, I streamed Robinson early, and I got away with it. And like if I hadn't been able to, and I got cut off from streaming,
as a casual,
where the fuck would I be now?
Casual
you know,
YouTuber, exactly. As a casual YouTuber, like someone who just like, I'm gonna start streaming today, and I just got a new game, wouldn't really know about stuff like embargoes and shit like that.
Yeah, of course not.
You know, they would just get shit. Oh man, now I can't do it for 90 days after this. What the hell? Who fucked
Which
you?
is exactly why my channel, what I can get on the fucking PSN store is when I stream it. I don't break any embargoes. Nobody can say shit. I don't use codes. I don't get games early. I fucking buy them when I can buy them.
Hey, well, you should ask people for codes and get games early because like you can, like you have subscribers.
Have you,
and shit. Like
Dave? Have you seen my station? If they ask these stupid things in the emails.
They don't look at your channel before they send you the fucking code, man.
They go.
There's been times when I already reviewed a game.
I would never get a code.
Yeah, exactly. No, there's times where I've already reviewed a game, and they ask me if I want a code, and I send them my link, and I'm like, yeah, sure. And it's like they didn't even look at it to see that I just did a review. So they still send me one, and I'm like, fine, I'll give it away. But like, yeah, they don't care. I mean, just ask for codes, man. You don't have to spend all your own money to play all of these games. Half of them end up being,
My channel is every game I've ever bought. It's all on my channel. If I ever get a code, I'll give it away. That's just how I do it.
That's nice of you. That's cool, but
that's how I do it, man.
I'm just saying, you can ask.
You
can ask.
ACG's the same way though. He buys every game.
Dave, you're the first station I ever watched.
Dave,
give me that. Put it down. Dave's the first station I ever watched. And back, Dave keeps telling my name.
Look at
Seraphim's gonna get it.
And,
I was looking at that.
Back then, Dave, man, back in 2016, early 2017, you didn't get codes. You were.
No, I bought everything. Yeah, definitely. Well, so I was talking to Brian from Without Parole. And at the beginning, he actually like reposted my videos on his channel because he had some more subscribers, and he was like, "Hey man, I like your shit. I'd like to I don't do Let's Plays, but I like your Let's Plays. So can that be a feature on my channel?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, you can repost it if you want." But he mentioned to me that he was getting codes from developers and stuff, and sometimes they would just like reach out to him, and I was like, "Fuck, I'll just bug everybody."
No, yeah, that's happened.
Yeah, you told me
about
how to get a code. Davestation told me how to get codes.
Yeah. And most of the time, if you find the right email address on their website, it's not hard. Most developers will get back to you.
It's true.
Like it's only Supermassive won't get you. Fucking Sony won't get you if it's like a big like AAA one. But
big title, yeah.
Otherwise, most games that are coming out, people just want you to cover.
Like the small indie developers. I literally and like Cold Iron. I literally hit them up on Facebook. I just Facebook messages and they were like, "Yeah, here on Facebook." They were literally like, "Oh, thanks for so much for hitting us up. Here's a code."
Yeah, exactly.
They stopped talking to me after I did review of Cold Iron. They never spoke to me after.
Did you not like Cold Iron? No. Did you not like Cold Iron?
No, I had that situation as well, but I did buy their game. So
yeah, I just didn't like it.
Loads of developers.
And I've had developers of Flippy's Tesla contacting me and saying that they don't agree with my view and maybe I'm gonna change my opinion about it. But in the end,
did they send somebody to your house? They sent the guy to
I recommended the game. That's the best part. I recommended the game in the end of the review, so they want me to change it to not recommend it.
All right, next question. We're gonna get off of the review code bullshit, but no, Paul, that's exactly why I don't use them, because they'd tell me too. They'd be like, "We don't agree with you."
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, if they give you a code,
Wait.
they don't know. I mean, the only person that I know that actually, I know we weren't going to go into this. This is almost
No, this is
fired.
not the point of this.
But,
this is
like,
more.
I will say
YouTuber
sometimes people get codes and it does affect their reviews. Most of us sitting here, I don't think that's the case.
Fuck no.
No.
So,
Most of the codes
I'm
I
not
get, though, the
speaking
games were fun.
particular names or anything, but
I
I know somebody gave Art Park a decent review. I know somebody gave Art Park a pretty good review.
Real quick, AWOL. The one time for Sprint Vector came out, and a lot of you guys got codes for Sprint Vector.
I've got
and stuff
four,
like that,
never
right?
reviewed it.
And
You never reviewed Sprint Vector?
No, never played it once. Didn't have chance.
Oh, it's
No
so
shit.
fun, Paul.
But no, but
They
listen to
sent me
this. Listen.
codes.
It's
No,
one of my favorites.
that's another thing. That's another thing, right?
Oh,
So
is it? I need to try it.
listen to the no. Listen. So I emailed them, and and I think at the same time, Seraphim, I gave him the email. So I was like, Seraphim, I found the email for Sprint Vector, and he emailed them around the same time, right? And then he emailed me back saying that I wasn't a part of a like a review list, not a review list, but like a I forget what they press list, something they said. And select partners. I'm sorry, select partners. That's the way they said. Select partners. That's how they used it. So, and then a day later, I think, like Seraphim got the review code, but I didn't. And so I hit him back up again saying, hey, you got any extra codes? I'm like, nah, you're not a select partner. But I was like, how's that possible? I get, like, if you're a select partner, that means you probably emailed them like months ago and you got on a review list or something like that. But if I emailed them at the same time when you guys did, you got one, I didn't. I was just like, what the hell? But I ended up getting the game anyway, and I loved it. I still love Sprint Vector. So, but it was weird. It was just a weird thing that happened.
That's why
I only do reviews if I've got something to say.
That's why I don't worry about the code bullshit, man. The game comes out,
Yeah.
I pay the fucking
Yeah.
money, and that's where my reviews come from.
Yeah, I only
give
do
no
it
fucks
sometimes.
about
Yeah.
these fucking douchebags and their fucking game. If it sucks, I say it sucks. If it's good, I say it's good. And they have nothing to say to me or give me anything because I bought it with my money because I'm just another motherfucking consumer doing my job.
I've never had
Yeah,
anybody
yeah,
say.
yeah,
I've never had anybody say shit.
I don't with any of that shit.
So I've done
If I get
really
a code
negative.
and I don't like the game, I'm still gonna say that I don't like the game.
same. And
Well,
if
I
I do
got
that,
a code for American Way, so
American Dream.
yeah,
American Dream, and I slated that because it was just so boring.
yeah. There's
I
nothing to do.
didn't
There's
get
no
to the
game
end.
in that
I couldn't
fucking
get to the
game.
end.
There's no game.
Yeah, but I
It
couldn't
was
get to the end.
Weird.
I know, and everybody
And
else
they-
turned
they
around to
really
me. Oh, when you
overdid
get to the
it.
end, it's weird. It's like I couldn't get to the end. In fact, I actually did a review for it, and there's a bit in my Let's Play that I put in the review, and it's literally the bit where it turns around in the game and says, you've got to the halfway point, and literally I howl in pain because it's like, no, I can't just be at the halfway point. This is just torture. And I put that in there, and it's like, well, look, you sent me a review code. I'm reviewing the game, and your game is shit. And I'm not going to
Yeah,
say.
but so I feel like that's fine. That's fine. Everybody does that. Everybody
So
does that here. But like, I've never had a reviewer reach out to me or a developer reach out to me and be like, "Hey, man, we don't agree with you." Like, I don't worry about.
I
that.
have. I
don't
and I
worry
don't even
about
get
that.
review codes. I have, and I don't even get codes. They hate the shit I say. They
don't know.
fucking hate it. They do.
I had I won't name the company, but I had one company that turned around and said, we're going to give you a review code. We'd like you to say this in your review. And it was just like,
No.
you give me the review code, I'm going
Yeah,
to say what I want in the
yeah.
review.
Yeah, that's
They
happened.
didn't
That's
give me the
happened. Yeah.
I told you to hide the cards, Breach.
All right, what's our next question? What's our next
Next
question?
question, yeah, come on.
All right, off to the next question. We're gonna get off of YouTube fucking bullshit.
Yeah, this is
Matters
like
to us, it
inside
doesn't matter to
baseball.
you guys.
This is inside
Yeah, let's
baseball.
move it along.
So this is from Ian McNevermind. Do you have to have a YouTube channel to be considered a VR expert? We're not VR
No, people write books about VR
Someday
channels
invite
or
the
about VR.
conversation.
No.
I think when I read this question, I thought one thing. It was like some of us. There's lots of guys. You guys know on your own channels, all these channels, we have a lot of the same people that comment. Some people just don't want to put their own opinion out there and put a face and a name to it and be ridiculed. Like, I mean, you have to have thick skin to do this, and I think we're not necessarily experts. I've been gaming for 33 years, which helps me, but you know, at the end of the day, it's pretty much the balls to go out and talk and have a channel called Lewis Knight PSVR, Davestation VR, Polish Paul, 7 Degrees, Seraphin's bullshit.
Seraphim, you better eat those cards, man. I want you to eat those cards. Your mouth is wide open.
There was another guy
eat those cards.
They commented also that it had done YouTube years ago and got into a a bit of a tiff with somebody over some stuff. So they're kind of like they're standoffish. But I guess I don't consider myself an expert. I just buy them all and play them, and I don't know how you guys feel, but I just give people the best opinion I can, so they should not buy the game.
Yeah.
So you guys can go around and say what you say, but that's all I'm trying to do. It's not get your ripped off.
I totally agree with you. That's it.
What's up?
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree.
So Lewis agrees, Davestation.
Oh yeah, no, I he looked right at me immediately, and I was like, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree.
No, but hold on. I lost track.
Paul's editing shit.
Say it.
So no, you don't have to be an expert, or you don't have to pretend to be an expert. So that's
Oh wait,
like
Davestation's going again.
I am going. I didn't. I was just saying I agreed, but I think having played most of the games doesn't make you an expert, but it gives you some perspective at least. And you can compare things in a way that somebody who's just like a random consumer who spends $20 a month on PSVR games or something like, who it's good to have that perspective of playing everything. So it's not like being an expert or being great at the games, because like I suck at most of these fucking games, honestly.
Dude, look at us the other night playing Lewis and fucking Wipeout, man. We're back in the fucking tail.
Oh yeah, me too, man. Well, shit. I think I won once, and I was like, all right, I'm retiring.
My hands are.
That stuck to my hands. This. Can't get it off.
My hands are broken. I can't see them.
My hands are carved and
the only thing I'd say is that no one needs to be an expert to do this, because let's put it this way: who is the biggest personality on YouTube? PewDiePie. He ain't an expert of anything. He's just a guy that got lucky. Look, people liked him. People liked him. Whether you like PewDiePie or not, look, a lot of people like PewDiePie.
I watch PewDiePie.
Even PewDiePie will turn around and say,
but isn't he like a competitive? Isn't he like a competitive gamer? Like he plays well and stuff. No, he is not.
No, he doesn't. If you actually watch some of his gameplay, he's
not
actually
like Ninja
crap at a lot of games.
like.
He's a bad gamer. He's not even a good gamer.
Oh, really?
I tell you what PewDiePie's really good at is literally making a game, even if it's boring and anything, fun. Because he'll just take the piss out of it, and people like that. And look at the guy. He's got, 55 million subscribers. That is an insane number. No one's anywhere close to him.
I've got almost that
even
many.
PewDiePie will say he's not an expert. Christ, the guy makes so much money, and I'll give him his dues. He gives a lot of it away to charity. He actually literally puts his money where his mouth is, which a lot of people don't. But YouTube is very democratic, that anyone can do it, and the general public out there will decide who they like. When I started this, if you'd have turned around to me and said, because I'm almost hitting my 2-year anniversary of starting this YouTube channel, if you'd have turned around to me at 2 years ago and said, in 2 years' time you're going to have 1,700 subscribers, I'd have literally, it would have taken about an hour, and then after I'd have stopped laughing, I would have said, nah. But I've got 1,700 subscribers.
Nice
it's so many more than I ever anticipated.
You're pushing 1,800 there, dude.
Am I on? Yeah, look, the people out there have decided. I mean, JD's a perfect example. I mean, obviously he's active on all our channels. But like JD has been so active on my channel. Yeah, he said hi to me as well. But he's been active on my channel. He actually does more for my channel than I do. You know, I put a little bit of stuff on Twitter, and he's like tweeting it and all this other stuff.
He's same thing. He puts it on Reddit. Yeah, he Reddit it.
It's an insane level.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And I'm so appreciative, which is why one of the reasons why whenever I get a comment, I will do as much as I possibly can to answer each individual comment, even if it's the ones that not me. Like I had some girl on what was it? What was the video? Arc Park, when I said I wasn't going to buy it because it was £45, which was my initial complaint about it. Her comment to me was, if you can't afford to pay, don't play. And I was like, okay, fair enough, I can actually afford to play.
You don't want to fucking pay for it.
I just don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
I just didn't want to pay for it. So I just turned around and I kind of said, well, you know, I can afford to pay for the game, don't like it. If you're happy paying, because the PC version is $31.99 on Steam, so it's £13
Seriously?
more. So it's about it's $15
Yeah.
more that we pay on
and
PlayStation
it's so much
VR.
better on
more,
PC.
it's got more
It's so much
content as
better
well.
on
Yeah,
PC.
it's more content.
It's got more
I've seen
content.
the
So
video.
anyway,
and everything, yeah.
It looks
I ended
beautiful on PC.
I ended the conversation with her saying, if you're happy paying £13 more for the same game with less content, with shittier visuals, you're an idiot, and there's no hope for you. And I left it at that. And then she replied to me
I called somebody an idiot on my channel too. Like, if you want to buy it, you're an idiot.
Then she replied to me 2 days. She replied to me 2 days later to that, saying, "Oh, you're a class act. You say this is always a discussion and conversation, but obviously it isn't that. Calling someone an idiot is very classy. I'm going to unsubscribe." And after again about an hour of laughing at that, I then replied to her, "Oh no, please don't go. I'm really, really sorry. I will do anything." And then I just put in brackets, "By the way, that's satire, bye," and put the quotes, and obviously I haven't heard back from her, but it's just like, look,
Off you go.
I've always said this is a discussion conversation on my channel. You can put whatever you want. You can disagree with me. In fact, and I've said this to people, one of the reasons I was looking forward to this is the people that have got different opinions to myself. Because I do think it's important that you listen to what other people have got to say. You can always agree to disagree at the end of the day.
I don't think that's important at all.
Life and death at the end of the day. But,
my
as I
opinion
say,
matters the most. Fuck you.
I never got to say why I started my YouTube channel, but whatever.
I think
yeah, you're good. Go ahead. And we got Priest to go too.
I don't even care. I'm just kidding.
Opinions are like onions. You just gotta pull them off.
Nat, did you finish yet?
Yeah, I'm done, yeah. Done.
My arms are
It's
gone.
been great. I gotta run. See y'all.
Have a good
Thank you
night.
very
All right,
much.
Strange.
Thanks for
Thanks
stopping
for
in. See you later, Strange Game.
Catch you later.
How many hours have we been
much.
doing this? Tell us on your way out. Is this like 3 hours?
It's 7
See,
o'clock.
Strange
It's
Games?
7 o'clock on the East Coast, homie.
It's been 2 hours,
I've
alright.
just had somebody come up saying AWOL's opinion matters most.
Was that Strange Games right there?
I mean, he served our country.
Oh yeah.
I
So,
didn't get to say hello to him.
I've infected your subscribers with my opinion. I like that shit.
So I think.
as far as
Oh, go ahead.
as far as being an sorry, I was just gonna say, as far as being an
let's talk
expert goes, I mean, I personally don't think you need to be, but I think having some kind of knowledge or experience helps. I mean, the way that I try to approach my channel is I try to be a bit more info dump, as it were, about stuff, and a bit more critical, because I don't know how. I mean, I know these two guys are aware, but my day job is I'm an environment artist for Ubisoft.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm currently working on Division 2 at the moment, and that's where a lot of my, I've been doing it for 10
Can you
years.
still
and
review
that's where
games if you work for gaming company?
I missed that. Sorry,
yeah.
Paul. But that gives me a good advantage in terms of like knowledge of how games are made and where they could be made better, textures, things like that. So that's where my knowledge comes from, and I think that helps my channel and my shtick, as it were, which is like info dump. But I don't think you need to be an expert at all to actually be an entertaining channel, because that's probably where I might suffer a bit, is I can be maybe a bit too analytical about things as opposed to entertaining about stuff. So yeah.
Well,
that's
everybody's
like
looking
the
for
PewDiePie
something
example
else.
is good.
Honestly,
Right.
some people want just the
I-
information. Honestly, they want a news thing.
Yeah.
What is the info? I don't want to deal with the personality of some people's personality is great on people. They just want the fucking info. So yeah, I mean,
Yes.
everybody's got their lane. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I wouldn't worry too much about
That's
it.
all I have to say. I mean,
No, it's true though. Like it's fun to just give, the info about the game. You don't have to be like an expert on VR. Like, I don't know how this fucking thing works at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna bust it open and see how this thing ticks. I can give a
Do
shit
you know
less.
how
All
to
I
switch
care.
it on?
Yeah, all I care is that all I care is that it works when I switch it on. That's it. That's it. That's all I care about. But the games, I think we have to be like, yes, if you're gonna do YouTube and stuff, you gotta be a little more knowledgeable about what's coming out, stuff like what Paul does.
Yeah.
I love what he does. I mean, we all know what's coming out because of the other channels, and we can all anticipate whatever's going to come out. PlayStation Prospect is another good one, who comes out with tons of stuff.
They do. I'll watch them too.
tons of stuff that I don't even know about half the games that he knows like that are coming out. And but yeah, starting a YouTube channel like it's not that easy at first, because at first when I started it was just for fun. Like literally, I met where is he? There, that guy right there. I met that guy. I met that guy on Starblood. I met that guy on Starblood Arena. I caught him live streaming, and I said, can I, I add him on my friends list or whatever. And that was it. From there, I started live streaming with those guys. But it was just for fun. Like, I think it was because everyone in the party at one point was streaming for no reason. It was just like, yeah, I'm streaming. I was like, you know what? I'm going to hit my broadcast button too. And then people started watching and commenting. And, like, then they asking questions about the game, or should I get a VR? And I was like, yeah, this is fun. I'm going to keep going with this shit. And then, it grew to something much more bigger than I ever thought it was going to be. But I love it. And it's all mostly inspired from this guy, because watching him the first video I watched of Seraphim, any VR, the videos, was Resident Evil when it came out. I was watching Brian Paul with the news and stuff like that, but when Seraphim played the Resident Evil 7, it was ridiculous. I was like, this guy is randomly funny for no reason. And
he's probably just screaming his head off, high as shit, hilarious.
Yeah, it was something like, I was like, I can do that.
I
was like, I could do that. It's fun. YouTube is fun. It's just a fun. I'm not like here to get paid for this or anything. PSVR is a passion.
I'm trying to catch that, but I got no arms. I'm sorry.
I got a floating 4 though. Is anybody? Is that somebody holding it there? Is that what it is?
I don't know what happened to my hands. They just disappeared.
Next question.
We're on to the next question.
Oh, AWOL, hold on. Can I throw one thing out there I've been thinking about for a minute?
Absolutely.
So we've gotten a lot of questions about like our VR channels and like our background on our VR stuff. And if there's any more of those, we should probably kind of just. I think we've talked a lot about that already, so we should just stick to like just game-related stuff, upcoming, thoughts on. Just throw that out there.
So we want to talk about, I don't know, E3 and upcoming games that we're looking at?
Oh, was that the one?
Play Dreams.
Was that the comment? Can you read that comment out loud? Because I couldn't understand that fucking comment, the one about E3. I saw that one too.
Yeah, I couldn't really understand it either on my channel. It was something about E3.
It started with E3.
You guys want to talk E3 and upcoming games?
Yeah, sure.
All right, works for me.
Do we know
I
when
don't
is
give
E3?
a fuck about the topic. I buy everything when it hits my console, so you guys can have the floor on this shit.
For me, I'm just hoping that they announce something big again, like something that we can all be really hyped for, even if it's coming out at the end of the year and we just can't like wait to sink our teeth into it. That's it. Like if they show us, I don't know, maybe more Seeking Dawn and it's really good. I don't know, something.
You mean like more super massive bullshit that we all buy and hate? Is that what we're looking for?
That's exactly what the fuck I'm waiting for, Sarah.
We want some more VR bullshit hype. That's what we want from E3. Some shit that's.
Oh, I got some for you. No Man's Sky next update might have VR.
Yeah, that would be exciting. That would actually be really cool.
I just want a big game.
That's a pretty big game.
No Man's Sky is technically endless.
I do too.
That game is technically goes forever.
I quit. I'm 36 years old, and I quit paying attention to E3 when I was 23.
No, I think last year
at shit, I'm never gonna see it suck my dick.
Last year at E3, 7 Degrees, Seraphim, a bunch of us actually got into a whole party chat and watched the whole E3 together on Twitch. At the same time.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us got like reactions at the same time of like Skyrim VR being announced. So we all heard all of each other's reactions.
We were so happy.
And we were like it was ridiculous. It was one of the best chats I've ever been a part of. Like it was really fun. But yeah, that's why I hope this year we can do that again. And also they'll announce something big. Who knows?
Well, if Capcom don't come on stage and announce Resident Evil 8, I'll be shocked.
No, I knew you were gonna say that.
Well, what about this? And what about Elder Scrolls 6? Because there's all these talk about Elder Scrolls 6 now.
That'll come out when the next Game of Thrones book comes out.
There's a game they're working on, a space exploration game, Starbound or something like that, and that's what a lot of people have commented on my channel. Saying that this
Starbound?
I don't know. You'd need to check on my channel.
I get people talking about
it's literally
Fallout.
a star exploration game.
Yeah, Starbound's already out. It's been out for 10 years.
No, this
It's
is.
a 2D
You need to
platformer.
check it. It's called
Starbound.
Star something. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, okay. It might be close to it, similar to it or something.
For me,
Stardew Valley
I'm
VR
looking forward to seeing if I'm hoping that we can get some more good gameplay of Firewall Zero Hour. That's what I'm looking for. Actual on-floor gameplay of Firewall Zero Hour. Because I love Rainbow Six Siege, so I just want something like that. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Dude, sir, yeah, that's a great one. I agree.
I just
Dude, I hope that's true. They bring out.
Someone said Star
Starbound in VR, that'd be
Citizen.
insane.
Star Citizen, is that it?
Oh, holy
Matt,
moly!
is that it?
Yeah,
Star
that's
Citizen?
awesome. That'll never come out.
No,
what
it's
about-
not Star
what-
Citizen.
okay.
I'm just trying to find it now.
And
You
what about-
carry on chatting?
And what about
Starfield?
this No Man's
Starfield?
No Man's Sky?
I got people suggesting
No Man's
stuff.
Sky next summer, so it's this summer coming. It's called Next, and it possibly has VR compatibility. Apparently, is what people are getting.
Have you
from it.
seen the
So-
logo at the bottom of their advert for it?
Polish Paul, why are you commenting
yeah,
on my
the
stream
white
instead of
screen
talking in the chat?
Where it says "we are," but if you actually look at the
Yeah.
way
Oh,
it's
what's wrong with
actually
you?
a thing, it's,
Yeah,
it
right.
sounds like it's
It
VRE.
has to be, right? Yeah, exactly.
I
I
think
think
it
it
is.
has to be. It'd be amazing. It'd be alright.
That would be
Elite
great. I mean,
Dangerous would be good in VR. In PSVR, Elite Dangerous, Star Citizen would be way too good to be true.
Elite
That'll have to be
Dangerous
a PS5
developers have come out and said it's not
release.
going to happen.
No
Yeah, I
way.
heard that. Yeah, but I mean, they also said when I asked them on the live stream, they said that they haven't discussed it yet, which whatever that means. So you're probably right. I don't know.
Well, they just
Hopefully
said
not.
if they couldn't get it to work right on the PlayStation VR, they wouldn't bring it. Let's be honest, it's been out long enough. They should have been able to get it working. right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. I reckon. Yeah, because they said something about doing the occult rift overnight, getting it working. But they had to work on it more.
Paul keeps commenting on my fucking stream. Paul, get it? What are you doing? He says, "Do you like VR games?"
Strange Games Studio might be making a cowboy
That's funny,
VR
Paul.
game. Horse riding and stuff like that.
And my girlfriend's saying
You
hi
love
for my
VR
cat.
games.
After D-Day gets released, I think.
So I
Oh,
guess
you
All right,
missed,
what's our
you
next-
missed it, Seraphim. Wait,
Are we
wait,
ready
wait,
for the
wait.
next question?
Seraphim missed it. The developer told us that D-Day is being released July 24th.
24th, yeah.
Yep.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's what they're shooting for.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
amazing.
shit you not. I
That's-
shit you not.
That's a little
And he
closer
said
than I thought.
32-person
Cool.
battles, maybe 16 people at least.
Damn, he's amazing, that guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's awesome. Very excited.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Is that it for
Next-
E3? Nobody
is
got
that it?
anything else?
Yeah, no, let's go to
No.
the next one. I think we're ready for the next one. It seems like.
Yeah, I think
Alright,
we're trying
so,
to wrap it up. Is what it seems.
yeah, we can if we need to.
No, I mean
So-
like go through the rest of the questions.
Oh, we got tons of questions, man.
I know.
We've been on
Oh, we were supposed to pick just a few.
Starfield. The game's called
Yeah,
Starfield
I was saying
by Bethesda.
somebody commented that on my stream
Starfield?
too.
Yeah.
I got a Star
Starfield.
Citizen
I knew it
on
was
mine.
Star something, so.
Alrighty, well, what do we got?
All right, so how about issues with our devs? And now this isn't just VR. This is
Paul,
Flash
stop
too,
fucking
but
trolling me.
releasing unfinished games, and I'm talking unfinished games to a point that they're broken.
Oh, this is my topic, baby.
And this is straight from Lewis Knight actually.
This is my topic.
Actually, so to quote him, no, I'm not going to quote him. I'm going to say how I would quote him. Quit giving a shit that make us buy it and feel like a bunch of cocksucking asshole douchebags for buying your
Who would
shit.
buy
So-
anything?
That's a direct
Who would
quote?
buy anything?
Who will buy anything?
No,
So,
he's
go
paraphrasing.
ahead.
He's definitely paraphrasing.
I am. I'm interjecting my own animosity towards this. So, Lewis, you can take it from the top.
No, well,
How
we
do,
got
how do you feel about this?
with Ark. You had Ark Park that wasn't finished.
$50. Yeah.
Bravo team. We already know about that with the article at
God,
from
yeah.
Eurogamo. Eurogamer. Sorry.
$40.
$40 game. Now, and last year we had Arizona Sunshine, which was
$40.
very incomplete.
Oh
before
yeah,
it
that
was released.
and that was such a hype train too. Everybody was,
And it was a super hype
Oh
train.
my god.
Oh, thank you, Dave, for chiming in. See, these games need to be like what the like how Eurogamer said. These bosses don't need to like rush these developers or even split the teams to make more than one game at the same fucking time. You guys are funny with this streaming shit.
No, I'm sorry.
I bet you
Somebody named Polish Station VR the Game Cat just commented on my stream. In addition to Polish Ball, I was like, who? I have so many trolls right now. All right.
That's so funny. No, so yeah, no, that's it. It's the fact that like they need. It's what everybody's saying. The developers need to stop like pushing the teams to rush things out. And then we as VR consumers, right? We don't have many games. There's not like we're waiting for the next game.
Oh, there's a lot of the games. I mean, the catalog.
There's a lot of games. But obviously, compared to like a 2D library, we're still waiting on like
upcoming releases are slow. Yeah.
Upcoming releases are slow, right? So
I just had a comment on my stream. But if you look to point out that they were ported games, like I don't assume he means from PC. Some of those, I don't know. That's what he said.
But like, well, when you look at when PSVR first started, there wasn't that much at all. Obviously, and that goes for every system. When PS4 came out, I had what, The Last of Us? I think that was it.
Yeah.
There was nothing. Okay, so that happens. That does happen, and then games start coming out. But like, when you rush a game, and then with VR, it's such a new thing. We love VR so much. We want to just get in there and see what everything looks like in VR. And then you go into a game you spent $50 on. That's unfinished, flat graphics.
Are we talking Arc Park? I think we're talking.
We're talking about like we're talking Arc Park. Everything that I've seen in this guy's giant Afro stream of Arc Park, almost 3.5, 4 hours. 4 hours. Yeah. Almost 4 hours.
It was painful.
Yeah. 4 hours.
Oh, sorry, my tracking gone now. Yeah, it's been around 4 hours. I think I've been playing it.
Absolutely ridiculous. For 4 hours, I watched almost nothing happen on his stream.
No, yeah.
No,
nothing.
But if you watch the trailer, it looks like something you're gonna buy.
For $50, yeah. The trailer looks like okay. There's a new game coming out right now called Jurassic World. Has anybody seen Jurassic World yet?
Evolution.
Yeah, Evolution. I'm sorry, Jurassic Evolution. Okay,
I saw them playing
that game is what Arc Park should have been. Yeah. Okay. That game is like you build a park.
You
have all these dinosaurs. You need Jeff Goldblum, exactly. You need Jeff Goldblum, but they built the game around things that fail. So you can have a storm happen, and all of a sudden their fence will come down, and a T-Rex is running loose. That will never fucking happen in Arc Park.
Actually, no.
No.
I will say, here's this. In Arc Park, at the beginning, they're like, oh, wait, something went wrong with the mind controller. That's why you got to shoot all the guys. They want to blow it up.
That's it?
So that is essentially what you're talking about, but it's a terrible version of that. It's like the worst.
But it's a terrible. Right. Wow. I forgot about it. But it is. It's a terrible version of that. It's just, I don't know. And I saw when people watch the dinosaurs coming at you, I just can't. That game, I refuse to buy that game. I don't care how much they update that shit. And if they update that shit and they make it more money, oh my god. I'm giving up. Whoever that developer is, I'm giving up on them.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Ark Survival Evolved was created by a totally different fucking developer.
Yes.
And they had this idea originally to create a VR version of it, and they typed that up like years ago. And then they just stopped talking about it, and they got Snail Games, who's a Chinese mobile developer, to make Arc Park. And that's why, Paul, you mentioned this, Brian mentioned this, the loop of the gameplay is like a mobile game. Like waiting 4 hours to let a thing hatch, that's like a fucking mobile game. And you expect the microtransaction. You expect to pay $1 to speed it up, almost. Because it takes so fucking long.
That's some British shit right there.
Who was it that said that Arc Park snail pace? What are they called? Snail
games.
Snail
people made this game. It was made by snail people.
Didn't they buy
snail people made this game?
I can't use my hands right now, but didn't they say that they bought some of the company, like some of the shares off of Arc Park, apparently?
No,
because Arc Park was getting lawsuits from copyrights for some reason, right?
Really?
So they were like, oh, we'll help you out, we'll give you some money if we can have some of your shares. And they were like, yeah. And that's how they got the Arc Park assets, and they just fucking money cash grab. That's all.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a cash grab. It's a huge cash grab. But that makes us look bad. But that makes PSVR look bad.
But we're gonna get that monkey one soon that you like. The monkey one, monkey.
What's the
remember?
monkey?
Yeah,
What's the monkey?
Planet of the Apes.
That's on Tuesday. It's
honestly,
it's
guys,
yeah,
everyone's saying
That
they're
should
not
make us
excited
look
and it's
good,
going to
'cause
be
that's free,
terrible.
right?
No, it's not free. It costs money, right?
God.
Oh no, I don't. I
The
thought it
trophy
was
list made it
cheap.
seem like there was actual gameplay. I swear to God. Did you
In,
guys
in
look
what,
at the
in
trophy
Planet of the
list?
Apes?
Yeah.
In Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
Yes,
it looks like
good.
there's actual gameplay. I'm
trailer-
excited for it. I like Planet
I'm
of the
excited
Apes.
for it too. I pre-ordered
Yeah.
that shit.
How much
I
was
only
it?
saw
thing is
like
with,
few bits in trailer.
You pre-ordered
Get
it?
excited
You
for
got to give the
impatient.
developers
It's
actually
a
a bit
$10
of credit with
pre-order.
first.
It's gonna go out to $15 after the pre-order. I bet you anything.
It's only
Yeah,
10
but
bucks
at least
to
they've
pre-order.
come out front and said this is
Yeah.
going to be about a
I'll do that
2-hour
shit,
game.
Lewis.
Oh yeah.
People know what they're getting. It's like it's 2-hour games. You've got these little mechanics in it. They've actually been up front and said it. Whether it sucks or not, they've given us as much information as they possibly can without releasing a demo. And obviously, we've heard from the dev that actually it does seem like demos are hard to do on Sony. Sony aren't making it easy.
Right.
So, maybe we, pressure needs to be put on Sony. If a developer wants to put out a
Damn
demo,
right.
please don't charge them. Make it free or make it a doddle for them to do. Because how many of us have went out and bought Moss or The Persistence or Star Child because of the demo that was put on that disc?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
only was
Especially
only going to buy Moss.
Persistence was crazy. Like
Persistence
that
is the
demo.
greatest demo. Yeah.
You
Moss
could
was the
replay that
only
shit
game
for
that out of
hours.
those three that before I played
Resident
them on the demo, I
Evil
was gonna
Midnight
get.
Hour. The Resident Evil Midnight Hour demo is probably one of the best VR demos. Again, like I said
I
before.
thought it was
I did
called
say this
Opening
earlier.
Hour, right? Opening
Well, that's
Hour?
one of the best.
No, Midnight
That's
Hour
one
is
of
the
the
last
best
one.
VR games that we have, man. Like I would have bought Resident Evil 7 without playing the damn demo.
Oh, true that. True that.
Hey,
It's like-
Davestation.
But
Can
it
you
was
see my
cool that
hands
they
right
gave
now?
it. It's cool that they
No.
gave that to us, though. Like
Yeah, that demo was
really?
I
great.
think what we're trying
Took
to
a
say,
lot of
though,
time in
is-
that demo.
Go ahead,
I think what I'm
Nat.
trying
I'm
to say
sorry.
though is,
No.
go on.
Oh, that's
sorry.
crazy.
No, wait. Nat, were you done? Seraphim?
No,
moving?
well, I mean, it's a bit of a
Future?
Can you see me
frustration
waving?
because I know, like, Lewis likes
I
Sprint
can't
Vector.
see.
But what kind of annoyed me with Sprint Vector isn't the price. It's $13.99. It's like, oh, well, the game doesn't suit me. Where I'm kind of annoyed with Sprint Vector and Servios is on PC, they gave a beta out about 2 weeks prior to the game launching.
Yes.
We didn't get that on PlayStation VR. Now, I got to admit, I kind of got caught up in the hype. I watched Davestation and Brian's stream of it.
Yeah, all that early access
and
shit.
they loved it.
I loved
and that's
it, yeah.
great. And it's like, I mean, you've always got to be a little thing until you actually get hands on. You personally don't know. Like I've said about games I love, and then
Yeah.
people have got hold of them and said, no, it's a shit game. It's like, well, I don't know what it is, but everything was like, I think I'm gonna like it, but then I played it and it's like I knew within 10 minutes some things.
Smack him. Shut him up.
But yeah, as I say, it's just frustrating that betas and demos are not made available for PlayStation VR, which can inform our purchases. Can you get a demo that plays well and then the game is pile of shit? Yeah, it's possible.
I think
But at least
I think a
if you-
Sprint Vector demo. Sorry to cut in. It would be really hard because the game requires you to even play it at all to go through 3 tutorials.
Yeah, but
And,
it was a
like,
beta.
Oh, the beta. Would
Well,
they
the
should have
demo
given
was a
us.
beta.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Because I knew
True,
after about
yeah.
10 minutes, I don't want to put. It's like I said, and I've said this about the game. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just a game that's not for me because I don't have. Once I've finished
Hi,
work,
Mr. Boring.
the
How you
last thing
doing,
I want to do
buddy?
is come home and then literally just work my ass off to play a game. It's just like, no, I'm not
I'm in the
into
same
that.
boat, Nat. I bought that game for full price. I can see why it's a good game, but it's not for me either. And I tried to explain that in my videos I did on it. I know that Lewis loves it, and I would like to love it, but I'm just too fucking tired when I get home to play it. That's it. At the end of the day, it's a great game. It's beautiful. It works great, but it's not for me.
It is, but I think it's too much constant movement. I'd rather play Knockout League than Sprint Vector.
Oh, me too. That's why I've got so far in Knockout League. I've got nowhere in Sprint Factory.
Yeah, but like at least in Knockout League you get those like couple of seconds where you take a break before a next punch comes or something. But in Sprint
Right,
Vector it's
right.
just fucking nonstop.
Non-stop. Yeah. Yep.
But I love Sprint Vector. It's still a very
No, dude,
lovable game.
it's-
It's very tiring. I feel you.
That game is one of the best VR games probably ever created right now, and I have no problem admitting that. I personally don't like it though, and I would have not bought it had I known that.
This is me tricking all
Right,
you
right.
guys in Sprint Vector.
Going back to the original topic, though, if you go back to the original topic, which was about busted-ass games and that, Sprinfect is not
right,
busted.
right.
It does
No,
work,
right,
and it was priced appropriately as well.
That's true.
it was
No, that's
true.
absolutely true.
Right,
Preach.
see you later, pal. Good night.
Right on track. Paul, what are you talking about? What'd you say?
Night.
What is that?
I'm just talking to somebody been leaving stream. I said
Oh wait,
good night.
are you not commenting on my stream? You're talking now.
Oh no, I stopped commenting now.
Welcome back, Paul. I like having you in the flesh. Okay, so
I told you to hire
yeah, I
all
think
these
we might have
things.
gotten a little sidetracked. What was so? Did we all hit that question, or do you guys want to hop to the next one? Or
Yeah, next.
Broken
next.
games, I think we can agree.
I
We don't want
think
broken
we,
games.
yeah, I think that
But,
we all hit
it
that one.
helps the community as well when the game isn't busted. Like, I mean, look at Wipeout. It had every option. It worked perfectly. It was lagless
yeah,
online,
it's done a great job.
and it just makes it so good for the whole community, and
Oh, yeah.
everybody jumps on board. You know, whereas if you do it the other way around and you have a shit game, then it just fucking screws everyone over, and makes PSVR look bad.
do you guys feel like?
don't-
Sorry,
we
I
don't
know
want.
I said we should get back to the questions, but anybody else feel like they're getting a sixth sense at this point for like which games are actually just going to be terrible?
Oh, dude,
Yes.
I do
Yes.
it. Yeah, I try not to, but like you almost know.
Yeah. All right, that's just a quick one.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we got out there?
That is almost like
You can use 6-axis in VR cards.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks.
Are you trying to sell somebody on
Appreciate
VR
it.
carts?
No, you saw my review of it.
Yeah, that's one I've never played.
I'll be the Joker.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Seraphim, you still have no hands.
Yeah, I might come back. Is that alright, Lewis, if you re-invite me, if I duck back out and jump back in? So I can get my hands back, so I can get handy.
My tracking is proper gone to shit now. Everything wobbles.
I thought we already
You'll
had
get
our
it tracking.
technical issues. I thought we were done with all that.
you guys made like the biggest mess around here, man. Like we don't have the budget to clean this room up now. Like you guys totally.
I'll do it. I'll take care of it. You guys are cool. I'll just clean up when you guys leave.
What's the next one here, Will?
Okay, so this comes from the Cast Out of the Glue Bagger. What is the
Great name.
AAA studio's tipping point for creating PSVR games? And what's the biggest obstacle for VR development? We kind of had Strange Games address the fact that it's not that big of an issue.
Frame rate.
And
by the
I-
sounds of it.
And I think the other side of it is just the fact that our install-based market saturation is not causing them to make them for us. That's my answer. There's
Well,
not enough
EA
money in
turned
it.
around-
There's
EA
not enough
said
money
there's
in
no
it.
money. But the EA wants somebody else to do a big game that sells well before they'll actually do it themselves. They don't want to be the
Yeah, but-
trendsetter. They want to be the trend follower.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean they've
Ubisoft
got
does VR
they've got
games.
their investors to fucking satisfy and shit. You know, they're not like in.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you
the
can't
Star
trust them
Wars
to be.
thing on Battlefront was paid for by Sony.
It was bloody
Right.
brilliant.
That's why.
No,
That's why
yeah,
PC
yeah.
units didn't get it.
Yeah.
Sony paid for the Rogue One mission. So
I wish they'd paid for a full game.
yeah, would have been nice, wouldn't it? That's why we didn't get anything for Battlefront 2 because Sony didn't put any money in.
Damn shame.
Yeah, it is. The problem that you got with both Activision and Sony, sorry, not Sony, EA and companies like that, is they don't look at the big picture. They just look at, we want as much money as we possibly can, which is why EA introduced loot boxes for Battlefront 2. They didn't care about the consumer, it wasn't about that, it was about making as much money as they possibly could for the game. Now, admittedly, you say you work for Ubisoft. Ubisoft also want to make money, but they're actually one of the big AAA studios, along with Bethesda, that do look at the big picture. They know that, yeah, VR isn't going to be a multi-million seller. They can still make profit. Like, there's no way they didn't make money on Star Trek Bridge Crew. No way they made money on that game. I mean,
It's a
Jesus,
great
look at
game,
the size
man.
of the file. Yeah, it's a great game, and it's good for Star Trek people. But they're also looking at, okay, we can get the developers in now that will understand VR, understand the space of VR, that when it does start to take off and a much bigger scale, to be honest, Ubisoft have got a heads up on it. They've got Bethesda have got a heads up. EA and Activision are going to be playing catch up. The problem you've got with
Ubisoft
EA and
releasing
catch up
new
is they've
game.
got the IPs.
Ubisoft released a new game for PC called Space Junkies, and they're not gonna bring it to PSVR because there's no thumbsticks or move controllers. But the game looks good. Yeah.
But I've got to be honest, I give them respect for that. At least they've come out and said, look, we'd love to bring a game to PlayStation VR. Can't do it, there's no thumbsticks on the thing. It sucks, but at least if they're honest, you can turn around and say, okay, that sucks, it blows, but thank you for being honest, and then you look at their next game. Because when they market that to you, they should have, hopefully you'd like to think they'd be honest with that one as well. So I'll give kudos to Ubisoft.
The game looks good. The game looks good.
Yeah, it does look good, but if you can't physically bring it to PlayStation VR, don't bring it. Don't try and shoehorn mechanics.
This is a prime example. Is Raw Data was an award-winning game on PC.
I didn't get the hype when it dropped on PSVR.
Take out the nav controls.
Yeah.
When you put it on PSVR without nav support, it's not that. I didn't get off with the controls. I beat that game 3 times and still feel when I play that game like I have no idea what I'm doing. Like control-wise, I feel clunky and stupid. And so yeah, I do respect a developer that goes, you know what? You don't have nav controls. Fuck your platform because our game's gonna suck over there. And I'd rather have them say that than charge me $50 for a shit port. I can respect that.
Thing is, I really enjoyed Raw Data.
Raw Data is a good game, though. It's a good game.
Yeah, Raw Data was fantastic. Yeah, Raw Data was fantastic, actually. I really enjoyed it.
It was hard to play.
And after I got it on the Pro, it was even better.
Raw Data's a great game, but the controls suck.
No, they don't. Not anymore.
Yes, they do. Even they did whatever. Go play it on a Vive or something, dude. It's way better.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Like with the thumbsticks, yes. But I had no problem playing it with Skyrim. I had no problem playing with Skyrim controls.
No, what I'm saying, what Nat was saying about a company saying we're not going to bring a game over there because it's going to be subpar on your system. That's exactly what he was just saying. They're like, it's not going to be as good.
One of my most popular videos, bruh. Chill out. No, I was kidding.
No, but instead of having shit controls with X goes left or up or down or O goes wherever, because we don't have consistent controls for the moves, and you go in there and you go, I can't control properly. This other company goes, PSVR's not getting our game because you don't have nav controls. That's what we're going to look at in the future.
Right. But here's where that kicks in too, because like in Skyrim, right, on the DualShock 4. On the DualShock 4, you can dual cast. You could dual cast your magic with both hands and walk backwards. You can shoot a bow and arrow and walk backwards. But when you're with the move controller, since there's no analog sticks, you can't move backwards while doing magic nor shooting a bow and arrow.
Right.
That's why I don't play Skyrim with move controllers. I play Skyrim with the DualShock.
I still love it though.
Well, that's how I feel about I feel about Doom too. Like people complained a lot about Doom, and I'm like, just play with the fucking DualShock. It's great. It's great.
Doom is great with the DualShock. Yes,
I play the
same way.
I do. I still love Skyrim with the move controls, but Doom is best played with the PS4.
Yeah. And honestly, for menus, so the thing about Skyrim, menus and the move controller do not get along at all. Menus are fucking nightmare in the fucking
Skyrim. There's so many menus for any menu though. Using the menu for the PlayStation with the move controller is a pain in the dick.
Yeah, so there's so many menus in Skyrim. That's why I have to play DualShock, just because it's like it takes me out of it if I'm sitting there fucking swinging my arms around trying to get to where I want.
I put everything in my favorites. Yeah, I know. That's ridiculous.
The thing is though, if you look at any of the PC VR stuff, I mean, one of the things that they always do with when they're innovating with new games is they have like a belt system for the majority of their stuff, so you're always picking up guns, you're taking stuff off, so we should have more interactive things like that rather than menus. Menus is like really old school. We should be looking to sort of like take that sword off your back.
That's when you're porting an existing experience to VR when some of the mechanics just don't make sense in VR anymore. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
You preach it, buddy. Preach it to us more.
That's what JD telling me.
Hey, Seraphim, you got hands again. Seraphim, where'd you get hands from?
I got hands again.
Where'd you get hands from? Where'd you get hands from?
I went out.
Okay.
No, Seraphim's back to tear up the room.
No, this is great though. This is good. This is good for people with ADD. All these toys to play with. I got it's great.
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna be here for 4 hours, if we're gonna be here for 4 hours,
later, Mr. Boring.
We got next one.
What's Mr. Boring doing?
That's fucking wild, man.
Next question.
Next one.
You know what's funny is though, like how some of us are like we're so. For instance, you guys remember Skippy PSVR?
Yes, sir.
He was one of the first guys I ever gamed with in Arizona
His
Sunshine, and its shit show of an actual release. You know, where the aim controller didn't work. I used a DualShock because it worked, and he used those stupid Move controllers, which work just as good as they did day one as they do now. They still work just as good. And I learned from him where some people on PSVR, some people want to stand, some people want to sit. And Skippy's going, I want to pick things up. I want to physically be able to grab something physically.
Yeah. Job simulator shit.
Right, and I think I was looking at it at that point even going, dude, this thing makes regular games so much better. Like, what do you want to do something that we can't do yet? Because when VR came out, after I spent the $500 and didn't even think it was going to work. So the fact that I got it home and put it on and went, holy shit, it works, was cool. So how do devs going on in the future give us all a way to play? And we saw that in a game like Arizona. Let's use the aim, the moves, or the DualShock, and also take comfort settings into question. Like, how do you appease?
Comfort settings.
How do you appease? I know I hate them. I want to shut them off. I wish they didn't exist. And there are games that force us to use them. But I mean, around the whole encompassing thing, would you release a game to have every single person at this round table go, this is a good game? What they need to do is let us play it the way we want to play it for everybody's style and use the comfort settings that we need, because I know Nat, for instance, he uses comfort settings,
yes.
whereas I don't. So if you want to appease all 7 people in this room to put out a video about your game, I better be able to sit and play. You better be able to stand and play. You need a DualShock. You need an aim. You need aim controller.
Well, but hold on, AWOL. There's AWOL. Real quick.
Options.
Counterpoint. Like if you got a game like Sprint Vector, how do you DualShock that shit? I mean, you could.
You don't DualShock.
You could, but it's not the same game. But it's not. It doesn't feel like the same experience at all. It wouldn't feel the same.
So how about this then?
There's sometimes where the controls are baked into the game at a level where like you gotta play it super hot. Exactly. You can't play that with DualShock. There's no way you can fucking play super hot with the DualShock. So some games you gotta just stick to one motion control system or one DualShock thing, and it won't work otherwise. Like Moss wouldn't work with moves. You can't play with the aim controller. Like, so.
What about how about this though? And this is another thing when it comes into baked-in control, specifically these high octane ones. What about handicapped people that can't do what I can do because I'm a fully functional human being? Like
and you know, actually,
even in the VR world, they're not as good enough. Just like in the real world, and that pisses me off about games like Sprint
You guys
Vector.
know about the handy-capable gamer? You guys ever run into him?
Yeah, where did he go?
Is he still doing shit? Because if he is, we could get him in here.
Video a long time.
It'd be good to have him as part of the roundtable to have that person.
No, I used to love his reviews from his perspective.
Are you fucking with me, Seraphim?
Yeah.
He's not dead. Okay, he's not dead. Okay. He might be, actually. Nobody knows if he's dead or not.
Nobody knows. No, but even still, no. I used to like watching his reviews too, from like to see what his views were from his perspective.
Yeah, so good to have him around. Yeah.
I actually did have that question on my channel when I was doing Sprint Vector, and I did a video specifically for the guy about can you play this game seated because he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And when I did my original review, it never occurred to me to even test that.
Exactly.
And as soon as he asked, it was like, I've got to give this a try. So I tried to play the game seated. And
how did that go? Yeah, it probably didn't work too well. Yeah.
It was hard. It was possible, but I don't know how competitive you would be against, other people.
Here's one thing I will say though. Here's the one thing I will say. Just in that particular scenario, if you are a wheelchair-bound person, you are kind of used to using your arms to get around, so it might not be so bad. Like,
you can't get around. You can't get around your arms. The actual armrest on that chair that you're sitting in right now.
Yeah, but you can put armrests down and stuff. But I've seen people like on YouTube, the people that like do most of their OBS streams and stuff like that with their the picture-in-picture, and they're sitting in their gaming chairs playing fucking Sprint Vector. I'm like, what are you doing? Stand up. Come on. Like, come on. If you can stand, there's no reason you should be sitting playing this game at all. And I could see them struggling, like not even going fast. And they're like, come on. It's ridiculous.
I don't know, man. I think that VR should be a place where you come into a world where your physical limitations shouldn't be limited in the VR world, and that's why I personally don't like physical games, just because I'm too damn lazy to play them personally, and also
I'm
because
sometimes tired after work.
Well, yeah, you don't always want to do it. Like, I can't put the time into sprint vector.
Because I don't want people that in the real world, I don't know if any of you right now are sitting in a wheelchair, but they can come into this world and kick my ass at far point PvP because they can lean back and fuck my ass up. And I think with the medical aspect, with everything else they're doing psychologically with VR, I think it's something very important that we don't ostracize or kick out the people with physical limitations in VR.
I totally agree.
That's where Wipeout comes in.
Oh yes, it does. Absolutely.
That's where Wipeout comes. Wipeout is sprint vector with DualShock.
At the same time, should we limit?
No, we shouldn't.
No, but there are games where the concept just top to bottom involves being in a virtual reality space that is movement oriented, that is a certain way, because that is one of the potential avenues of virtual reality. You know, like to use your body in a physical space and still be in the game, and still be in the game. And so, like, obviously, you want to, as much as possible, like, allow anybody to play, but there are still going to be some experiences that are just, like, designed and
Rum and Coke, Seraphim.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Like,
no, I mean, I'm not saying.
And I think
like
we shouldn't cut those off and say that's not worth having on the, the system or anything.
No, dude, those are great having. I just
But
say
I
having
agree
people
with you
be a
too.
part of the community. Where in the real world, people look at them funny, they look at them like they're not good enough, and then they come in here, and we come out with a game that's physical, and the actual game says, yeah, dude, you're still not good enough even in here. And that,
I understand that. That's empathetically speaking, that sucks.
That's what bugs me. That's what bugs me.
The experience.
So I choose not to play them myself, but whatever.
That's a fair point.
No, I agree.
It is what it is.
Next.
Right, any more questions?
We have 8 more questions just for you.
We're going on.
I'm working.
We're going on
it's
almost
like
3 hours,
I'm
and
working in morning.
Yeah,
I told you guys this was going to be a 4-hour stream. I told you.
I knew it. No, yeah, it's going on almost 3 hours. I do have to almost wrap it up, but I don't want to leave until everything's done.
Talked about
8 more
dreams
questions then. Oh no.
Just 8 more questions.
So we all agree that Wipeout is like the greatest game that come out this year so far.
It's awesome.
It saved March. It saved March.
It saved March. So then,
definantly, especially after the
so then I'll ask, since we're gonna move on to the future PSVR just a smidge. What's your most anticipated VR game for that we know about that's coming out this year? That's it. Just one fucking game. That's it.
Just one.
Mine's the Persistence. Period.
I was gonna
They had
say
a demo. It's great. Yep.
Persistence is mine as well.
Fuck! I gotta come up with something.
Firewall
else.
0 Hour.
Oh man, but maybe Blood and Truth. Oh fuck me! I said 2 games.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Operation Arcade, and that's coming out really soon.
Oh, that's a good one too.
About this game for ages.
What did you say?
Seraphim, what about you?
Operation Arcade.
Dreams?
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I hope it's still fully functional in VR.
I got one that's coming pretty soon.
Seeking Dawn's a good one. Seeking Dawn. Yes.
What's that?
Pixel Ripped. You guys
Oh,
have
yeah,
seen
yeah.
Pixel
Oh,
Ripped?
yes.
That
God,
looks really cool.
That game looks fantastic.
Yeah, it reminds me of there's this thing
It does.
on Google Daydream called virtual reality. If any of
so
you guys
great.
have Google Daydream,
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome. I wish they would port that. But that reminded me of that because you're just going through different scenarios, and it's like it's in on the fact that it's a virtual reality game. It's like breaking the fourth wall the whole time. It looks really good.
That looks awesome. I messaged developers of Dreams and asked them more questions about the game, and they said, "Oh, just post us link to your channel first." Posted them a link, and they never messaged me back.
They should have realized you're the freshest in the village.
Well, I'm going to choose a game a bit like
told me that was
Davestation
busy.
here. I'm going to say the next game I'm looking forward to rather than a game. So the next game I'm really looking forward to is Rick and Morty Virtual Reality.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Because that's out
That'd be fun to play with.
in 10 days, and it's got highly rated on Vive and Oculus. And it seems like the move controllers will work well.
To be fair, you have to have
analog sticks, so
you have to have a very high
That'd be
IQ
cool.
to appreciate
Pixel
that.
Ripped.
The Rick and Morty game.
It's Rick and Morty, man. I'm sure.
No, sorry, I'm referencing a meme. That's a meme. There's like this copy pasta that's just like this really long thing about somebody. Anyways.
So the end of quarter one.
That's the next game that I'm looking forward to. I'm expecting good things from that because I'm expecting to have fun.
That is 2018, the end of quarter one. Well,
Lewis, are you yawning?
I did yawn.
Okay.
Seraphim, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to making my own games and dreams. I think that'll be sweet because I want to make a tennis game, a ninja game, an exploration game.
Seraphim's good at making games.
Don't you make Little Big Planet games?
I used to, yeah, definitely.
I thought I saw on your channel somewhere.
Yeah,
Seraphim Sky. Seraphim Sky.
Yeah, I want to remake that in dreams.
Seraphim,
like, hardcore.
didn't you make one of the most downloaded Minecraft games of all time, which isn't my thing? I think it's stupid. Game, but you know, didn't you like?
Can we give him some high fives? Can we all give him high fives?
Yeah, it's a pretty big Minecraft map. I spent like
Shambhala?
He's a big deal.
a year and a half on every day building it, and it had
What's it called?
Shambhala,
Shambhala, yeah, Shambhala.
Oh man, I have to check that out, man. I was reading your description, and you're like, I made one of the most popular Minecraft freaking. I'm like, what? Really? That surprised me, actually.
Well, Seraphim's been a YouTuber. Seraphim's been a YouTuber for over 5 years. I think he's got a.
I was a Minecrafter when I first started.
Yeah, he's a Minecrafter, so.
And then I grew up, and big boy games. I like, adult games, all types of games, VR games, and yeah, so that's what I do. But yeah, Minecraft was great for me because I could like build massive maps, and I'd come back weeks later and I'd still be there, and I was surprised by that, and I was like, shit, that.
Did you like Discovery?
Yeah, I did. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use that. Yeah, I built Shambhala again in that map, but a smaller version of it.
Yeah. They meant to bring patch, they never did, didn't they?
Not yet. Yeah, I was waiting to see what was going to happen this year. I think the dev wanted to make a shooting game with that. Cool. A shooting game to go with it. So you make maps in that game, and then you bring the maps over to the shooting game. And
that could be fun. Yeah, that could be pretty fun, actually.
Yeah, and I was looking forward to that, but I haven't heard. They're still working on it though. I think, and they haven't forgotten about me or anything. So I'm still looking forward to it.
What percentage trust do you guys have when a developer, after a game comes out, says, "Oh, we're gonna patch that, or we're gonna add something later"?
No, yeah.
Like, because I feel like, there's been so many times where developers.
10%, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like most devs I've talked to have kept their word and patched things pretty much straight away. And
some
and
devs
have
are
tried
really good
hard or
about
worked
it.
on them,
Some devs are really good.
Yeah, well, I
about
remember
it.
the first time I streamed a game where a developer had joined because I found a bug. I think it was Moonshot Galaxy, and the ball wouldn't launch to go into the hole or whatever the fuck. And they were like, "Oh, the devs are here. It looks like you found a bug and this and this." And it was weird to say the least to have a dev in there for the first time.
Yeah, I think they're always watching. Like, I think they're always watching streams and what we do. We just don't know about it.
Did you guys
keep forgetting that? What I would forget about is like VR is new, like kind of thing. This whole thing is new, and they're like testing out their games as much as we're testing out their games when we play and buy it. And
Did
they
any
want
of
to
you
see
guys
us play, and I didn't. It was fun.
Did any of you guys have somebody drop in while you were doing Invisible Hours? Like the writer of the game or one of the voice actors?
No, I didn't play that game.
Did you guys do Invisible Hours? Nobody else played Invisible Hours?
No, I played it, but I didn't live stream it because it didn't feel like a game I wanted to live stream. But
when I did it, I
do lurk.
That game.
I had the guy who wrote the story. The guy who wrote Farpoint wrote that as well, and then he like got some of the voice actors to come watch it, and all kinds of shit. It was crazy. I was like, I cannot believe this is happening right now.
Yeah,
I wasn't going anywhere with that.
I actually like the story in Farpoint. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I love Farpoint. I thought the whole.
I wonder if Arc Park devs was watching our streams.
Oh, they had to have, because they think, they're taking all your feedback and whatever.
They don't give a shit.
Feedback.
No, they don't give a shit.
Feedback you need to listen to.
I said to him, "Can I help make trees?" And he goes, "I make the trees, Seraphim." And I'm like, "Okay." Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Randy or something.
Oh, Randy Nell from Farpoint
or somebody. And he's like, "No, I make the trees." And we
Randy
never saw trees in the game.
Yeah, Randy
like, "Where are
Noltan.
these
Yeah,
trailers?"
they added us to their friends list. The developers of Farpoint, they added us. There was two of them, Randy and another one. I can't remember his name, JF Mail or something like that. And they played Starblood Arena with us a lot. And we asked them so many fucking questions. Oh my god! But they weren't sharing their voice, of course, because they didn't want anyone to really know. They had no problem telling us, but they didn't want the rest of the world to know what they were talking. It was hilarious.
And they're like, sorry, Seraphim, we don't want anyone to know. And I'm like, I'm not anyone. And he's like, all right. No, I'm kidding. That didn't happen. But yeah, we did chat with him for a bit. Oh, cool. Nice people.
Alrighty.
All right, guys.
So,
we're gonna do one more question, and then we'll wrap this up. All right, guys.
Cool.
So when it comes to hype, if a game doesn't have hype, or we hear about, I guess we'll say impatient versus something like that we didn't even know was coming out, like it just pops up in the store.
Preda.
When we go to review it or go over the game, how does that affect you as a YouTuber that tries to cover this content for their audience? And how does it affect you?
Like if a game just pops up out of nowhere and I gotta...
Well, what I'm saying, both ways. So, like, just say that it's something that you didn't hear shit about versus, like, a game for, like, $10 versus a game like, I don't know, Arc Park that we've heard about for months.
Well, here's one. Here's
supposed
one.
to be great.
Archangel was one of those. Archangel was one of those games that had no hype on it. And
exactly, man.
It had no hype on it. Here's what they gave us for Archangel, a screenshot. That's what they gave us. They gave us a fucking screenshot.
Yeah.
And you know what it was? It ended up being one of the best games I ever played on PSVR.
Oh, dude, I agree.
It's a total mixed bag. You can like have awesome trailers in a shitty game or a screenshot in a really good game. But you never know what PSVR, I think, right now is what we're going to get.
I think a lot of games that coming out, we hyping up as well. We don't have hype, all of us talking about, them games, and we hyping them up. And if you go to Reddit and that, people getting excited about the games nobody really knows much about. And then when they come out and, are shit, and people saying all that hype, but it's us who hype them up.
Yeah, yes.
In some cases, I think some of our channels do some like some of us don't do news. Like I don't really do news that much.
I don't either. I don't do news.
I don't do news. Brian, like Paul does news.
Yeah, I think you and Brian maybe. Not to like point a finger back at you, but like I mean like if you get hyped about something, people get hyped about it. So that is something you got to keep in mind. Like you are building the hype yourself.
For me, when I come to reviewing a game, I try to be completely objective about the whole thing, but the hype obviously plays into it, and I think you do have to say, like, people are going to be expecting something because of the hype and because of the trailers, and you have to tell them whether or not it's delivering on those expectations or not.
On launch day. Yeah, on launch day, exactly.
And if it's not delivering, you have to warn them, because like you keep saying there, well, some kid out there that, $40 quid, $40, that might be all for like a month, So you've got to let them know, and the hype does play into how you review that game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yeah, it does.
Absolutely.
Well, that's why first impressions and stuff is fun too, because people go in right away. Like you're doing your first impressions, and it's either is this guy having fun or is he not having fun, and that's it. And you see Paul doing his first
cursing for 4 hours.
For 4 hours, and it's like, I don't want to buy that game. I'm good.
Exactly. But then I fucking bought it anyways because I was like, I want to tell more people about how terrible this is.
Yeah, no. I just did a video saying, go watch everyone else I saw that suffered through this.
Yeah.
I am not buying this shit.
I did the same thing. I did a video saying "fuck Arc Park." I was like,
I did it while standing. I did it while standing inside of Robinson the Journey.
Oh, nice.
My greatest fear was that I would buy it and end up liking it a lot, and being like, "Oh, I bought this to shit all over it, just like everybody else to spread the word." But then I realized I love Arc Park. That was like it was like haunting me, and I like, what if that happens when I buy it? Fuck. Luckily, that's not what happened at all.
And Bravo Team too.
I'm never gonna buy Bravo Team unless it's like $10. Give me $10 Bravo Team, I'll pay that shit.
It's the same thing with Arc Park, because if Arc Park came out at like a $30 price, I would have bought it, reviewed it, where first impressions, that shit, whatever the fuck.
I would have bought it too. $50 is what fucking cut me from buying it.
I do love dinosaurs, and I don't give a shit about.
Do you still play Arc Park?
Like, really? Who, me? No.
Do you, Seraphi?
No.
You're still playing it.
I've never seen anyone play Ark Park, but I was super excited to get it, and I was disappointed.
we should get on the multiplayer.
Yeah, we should try see how it looks
I
like.
tried multiplayer one time. There was nobody there. I couldn't find anybody.
No. We need to do
Well,
it.
Brian has the game. Well, Brian has the game too, so you should do a live stream with Brian.
You have to buy Friends DLC.
You have to buy the Friends DLC. Yeah, that's great.
Obviously,
like...
I do with my channel. A lot of it is news. Now I try and be objective, but admittedly, if I see a cool-looking trailer, cool-looking gameplay, I'll say, oh, okay, I'm interested in that. But I have no problem when I'm actually playing the game if the game is awful to actually say. But I also like, occasionally taking a chance on something crazy. So I think you do this as well, Dave. Buy stuff from the Hong Kong store. I'm sure.
I love that. I love that shit.
Before.
It's so fun. Yeah.
So
you don't know what you're getting.
earlier
Ranch Planet was insane. Do you guys try Ranch Planet yet?
I saw you play it. I did see
I
you
couldn't
play
even
it,
figure out how to play it for 5-8 minutes. Like my stream is terrible just because I didn't even know it yet. Sorry. Good.
But like I bought a game earlier this week called Dark Legion, which will be coming obviously to the rest of the world, and it's actually got really good controls. The gunplay is really good. There's a lot of bugs and annoyances in it, but it costs like £10, and I had some money sitting on the things.
I like that one too. Honestly,
it was okay. I actually really like the move control on it for smooth movement. I think it works really well.
Yeah, they did something. It was kind of like almost like a budget Farpoint with move controllers. Is how it felt.
Yeah,
and that's a good thing to have. I like that. So hopefully they'll patch the thing where I got stuck and I couldn't progress in the stage or whatever. But
then you've got something like I remember buying this ages ago last year, City Avenger on the Hong Kong store, and it's an awful game. But boy, is it so much fun!
It's fun as shit.
So awful.
It's so fun.
I was laughing my arse off. I don't think you're meant to laugh. I think they tried to make a serious game.
I mean, you think they made those guys ragdoll and fly like that when you shoot them just
literally the
not
first
have
time
you
he did it,
laugh?
I was like,
No, I think you need to get him back.
yeah, I was like, okay,
it's
that's
for
got to be a
fun.
bug. And then literally it did it every time, and it's just like, oh, this is just so funny. So yeah, even some pretty mediocre games can actually have a modicum of enjoyment and fun into them.
I had fun playing Bike Rider VR.
Do we've got any questions about back PSVR camera?
Oh my
that was
God.
one. There was
Backtracking.
one about that.
Backtracking. I did see
There
that.
was one. There was one.
Yeah.
You mean for like full room scale, almost,
Yeah.
or at least behind your back scale tracking. So you can
Yeah,
turn
like when you
around in
thought one on the
VR.
back.
Yeah. I don't know. That would have to be like a
had
wireless. What is that tapping noise?
That's
It's set up,
Seraphim.
I think.
Oh, okay.
It's Seraphim.
That's fine. Yeah,
Looks like he's wanking.
no.
Jesus doesn't think.
So yeah, no.
Is that a rumor anybody's actually heard?
No.
About Jesus.
They have put out patents for sensors and things like that. I've done a couple of videos about that.
Yes,
But to be honest, they did a patent for frigging gloves for VR. They ain't going to bring those to VR, at least not this generation. So you just kind of take it with a grain of salt. I think the VR system that we've got is the system that we've got moving in.
And it's good enough. Yeah, it's good enough.
Yeah, it's good for what it is.
Yeah.
Can it be improved? Yes, but that's what I'm expecting with PlayStation VR 2.
I think with everything you always want more. Like whatever you've got, you always want more. Always want better
definitely.
version.
All right.
Whose arm is this?
This is Dave's.
Right, should we?
Yeah. So
Everything.
No, I
Wrap it
thought.
up here, well.
Wrap it up.
I think that's about it, guys. I mean, we've pretty much covered everything.
Well, I am a proud owner of PSVR and hope to be forever.
Me too, man.
Me too.
I love it. I know.
It's better still because what's with our channels if they stop making PSVR? What happens to our channels then?
Yeah, that's it. It's over. We're all done. We all gotta
check.
We all gotta meet up somewhere around the world.
Fuck the channel, man.
Check
It's
it,
all
check.
about it's all about having
Saving
fun.
people
It's
money.
all about the community and it's saving people
199.
money. Exactly.
It's all about
You're welcome,
Seraphim.
That's what I do
It's all
it for.
about
And
Seraphim 190.
Yeah.
Seraphim.
He's on the microphone.
Check.
No, I would just like
Yes, sir,
to
for no
say
reason.
to all of you
Well,
guys who
okay.
actually
You're
showed
welcome.
up and
Yeah,
you
well,
replied to
Yeah,
the
Thank
emails.
you.
thank you three guys
thank
for
you
setting all
guys.
this up.
Wait, guys.
Yeah.
I was
Wait,
using the
wait,
bathroom.
wait.
I was using the bathroom.
Preacher,
I ran away. I didn't say anything, but I was using the bathroom. What happened? Are we ending the stream?
we're sort of wrapping it up, saying how much we love, saying how much we love PSVR, and that's it.
So
Oh,
what we
it is
do
pretty
same
good. Yeah,
time,
it is
same
pretty
time
good.
tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Again.
No, that's not one.
No, thank you guys, whoever's watching.
Yeah, I mean, you guys,
Yeah,
with
thank you.
the
Thanks.
when the community gives us the feedback, man, that's what will dictate where this goes forward. And thank all you
I'd
guys
love to do
for
this in
showing
the
up.
second quarter again. In the second quarter, I think we should all
Oh,
go
yeah.
back.
Hey, you know what? That's E3 time too. That's June.
I was
So,
about to
yeah.
say, let's just wait until
So
just
end of
before
the end of
E3. Let's do
we'll-
a
we'll
pre-E3
meet-
show.
So we'll meet again
Oh,
end
yeah.
of second quarter. End of second
Absolutely.
quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Dance for me, Steve.
Bring your
Dance
best
for me.
stand-up jokes
How about your
next
poll?
time.
Absolutely. Thanks, you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. I hope we covered damn near everything. I think
Yeah, we covered as
I think
much
we
as
had
we
a good
possibly
conversation.
could.
Stripper pole.
Yeah, it was
I think it
awesome.
went quite well. I think it went pretty well.
All right. Yeah,
Super
definitely.
happy.
Not
Super
bad.
happy with you guys. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, thanks
thank
for
you.
watching, guys.
That was
Thanks for
awesome.
setting this up.
Thanks,
Preacher
Preacher. Yeah,
and
Preacher for
AWOL
setting
and
it all up.
everybody, yeah, for moderating.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a crazy idea we all came up with and followed through. Preacher, it was awesome.
Catch
No
y'all
problem.
in
Yeah, especially in
3
the
or
time
4
frame,
months.
it's remarkable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a
Don't
good night,
worry,
guys.
you guys,
we
you
can
guys
do it
will.
So
everybody-
later then, yeah.
What's with all the white people, am I
Everybody's
right?
going to be right back to watching us blow a bunch
Am
of
I
money we
right?
shouldn't blow on doing stupid VR shit here in the next 2 days. So
Awesome.
buying
right,
shit so they
guys.
don't have to. Cool.
And then in the next
thanks,
stream, I will
everybody.
transition to being male because I
Wait,
identify as a male.
wait. One more thing. One more thing. Honest to God, no bullshit. And Nat did a fucking video on this. Is Wipeout VR the killer app? Because
Of
actually,
course it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Wipeout the killer app?
I'm
Yes.
surprised they didn't make a bundle with it. Like,
Up
you
and
know,
down.
they should have made PSVR
No, I'm
bundle.
gonna
They
say
ought to from now on, yeah.
it's an unanimous yes. Unanimous yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Somewhat.
Yes.
I lost my hands,
Yes.
but I'm saying yeah.
I
gave it
actually,
10 out of 10.
I actually watched a guy doing a video earlier of that on the PS4 Pro versus PSVR. So it wasn't even like PS4 versus PSVR. It was PS4 Pro, and he broke it down by the frame. And they literally made no compromises, man. Like they nailed it.
Yeah,
Like, it's I think that's what we need going forward. Not in a racing game necessarily or a shooter, but things that the developers take that much time and put that much passion into.
Yeah.
I think we could tell from everybody's stream how blown away we were
Oh, Seraphim
from
just
that
left.
game.
Seraphim dipped.
Literally from the very first second.
I'm still here.
Everyone literally had the same.
Oh yeah, your body left. Okay, cool. Seraphim's
Reaction.
voice is still here.
It was. If you guys want to check the
still
video
with you,
out or
my
everybody in your
children.
stream, if you guys check out Digital Foundry, they don't do VR. They do everything. He does a very good comparison between PS4 Pro and the PSVR side-by-side comparison on it.
Oh
So if
man,
you
I
guys
almost
are-
forgot. That was gonna be one of my topics. Oh, fuck it. Like PSVR original versus
Yeah,
Pro.
don't
Do you
matter
need
now,
Pro?
it's in
Like, do you,
VR
like
also.
should you get Pro? Like,
I
but
don't
it's
know.
just
I've
what
got,
it is.
I've
We'll do
got
it on the next
PS4 and
Save for the
Get a pro.
it's,
Get a pro.
yeah, it's,
I think Pro is just like amazing.
I
Sorry,
got
just
an
had to
original
say
and
it,
I'm
like-
still doing fine.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
but when you get the
sometimes-
Pro, Dave, you will see. I want you to play Monster of the Deep, a Final Fantasy fishing game on the original.
Oh, yeah,
and then
that's
go-
like,
when you
That's the
get
only
a
reason I'll go
Pro.
play that game again.
No, and then Dirt Rally, forget about it. Dirt Rally with the new effects,
Oh,
snow,
Dirt Rally is
crack
great. If
windows,
it's raining
rain.
on your shit, yeah. No, I get
Dude,
it.
raining and every. Oh my God, it's amazing, Dave. You got to get a Pro.
All right.
Dave, at the end of the
Right,
day,
okay.
VR needs horsepower. VR needs horsepower, and a Pro has more horsepower. So of course,
is,
if they Pro
One
enhance it,
second. Sorry, guys, not you.
Paul, go ahead. Paul, go ahead.
Oh, no, I just been saying bye.
Oh, yeah, bye. All right. See you later, Paul. All right,
wait
guys,
for that.
I'm
I'll
going to
wait
drop
for
out,
you.
too. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Yeah, take care.
Okay.
Dave.
I need to make this video.
Later, Dave.
Yeah.
Really good, man.
Thanks, everybody on the stream, for watching.